McBride, we're live at the Fort Frances Memorial Arena here to broadcast the Fort Frances Muskies and Kitchener St. Jerome's in the gold medal game of the 1989 Ontario High School Hockey Championships. The Fort Frances Muskies come into this hockey game with 5 consecutive victories, including 3 pool victories, a quarterfinal victory, and a semifinal victory. The Muskies defeated in their pool games Oakville 7-1, South Carleton 6-1, and Bayview 4-2. In their quarterfinal game, they were up against a pretty strong North Bay Hockey Club last evening, and they defeated them 6-0. They followed that earlier today with a 6-2 win over Pocock, the team that eliminated the Dryden Eagles. That advanced them to the 9 o'clock hockey game here tonight. The Fort Frances Muskies taking on Kitchener St. Jerome's. The Muskies ranked number 1, Kitchener ranked number 5. St. Jerome's earlier in this hockey tournament defeated West Barretts 5-4, Assumption 6-3, and Sir Oliver Mowat by a 5-3 score in their quarterfinal. A double overtime game, an exciting one here last night. They defeated South Carleton of Ottawa 2-1. Another overtime game for them in the semifinal. This time they took out number 2 seeded Monarch Park by a 6-5 score in single overtime. Looking at the goals for and against, that often tells the tale of how good a hockey club has been playing. The Fort Frances Muskies, incredibly, 29 goals for, just 6 against in 5 games. That's plus 23 for the Fort Frances Muskies. Kitchener St. Jerome, also a good record, 21 goals for, 16 against, plus 5 so far in this All-Ontario High School Hockey Tournament. It's a jam-packed arena. If you're thinking about coming down here, don't even bother unless you have a weekend pass. They've sealed the door. Weekend passes only will get you into this hockey rink. You'd be very, very fortunate to find a seat if you got here anyway. If you're not here now, stay at home, listen to your radio, keep dial to 64 CFOB. We'll have the broadcast beginning for you in about 10 minutes. We're going to pause 90 seconds. You're listening to the gold medal broadcast on 64 CFOB.
64 CFOB.
We're back here live at the Fort Frances Memorial Arena, just moments away from Fort Frances and Kitchener. The number 1 seeded Fort Frances Muskies, the number 5 seeded Kitchener St. Jerome Lions. They'll tee it up here in 5 minutes. We're looking forward to an exciting game. The Fort Frances Muskies advanced to this hockey game earlier today by virtue of a 6-2 victory over Sir Philip Pocock Pirates. The Pirates played just moments ago in the bronze medal game, taking on Monarch Park. Bad news for Pirate fans. The Pirates lost to Monarch Park in that hockey game 5-1. Monarch Park, I'm sure, very upset that they lost to Kitchener St. Jerome's. As it turned out, that hockey game in the semifinal game between Monarch Park and Kitchener, an excellent game throughout. Kitchener St. Jerome's was up by scores of 2-0 and 3-1. Monarch Park rallied to come back and take a 5-4 lead with just several minutes left in that hockey game. It looked as if Monarch Park would go on to face the Fort Frances Muskies. It wasn't to be. Kitchener St. Jerome's tied it up, a late goal, and they won it in overtime. A 10-minute overtime period produced only 1 goal, that coming off the stick of Kitchener St. Jerome's. And they are advancing to face the Fort Frances Muskies. Let's have a little look at Kitchener St. Jerome's. Earlier, I had an opportunity to compare the lineups as far as ages. That can often tell turn the tide and tell a tale of how good a hockey club is. For the Fort Frances Muskies, a very consistent lineup: 5 16-year-olds, 5 17-year-olds, and 8 18-year-olds. For the Kitchener St. Jerome's Lions, 1 15-year-old. They have 4 16-year-olds, 4 17-year-olds, 10 18-year-olds, the veteran part of their lineup, and a pair of 19-year-olds. So that's the way it stacks up. The Fort Frances Muskies last won gold in 1986 in Oakville. We were there. It was a tremendous experience. The Muskies hoping to duplicate that experience right here tonight at the Fort Frances Memorial Arena. I would estimate the fan count here has to be well in excess of 2,500, maybe as many as 3,000 people. I've chatted with people who saw the Fort Frances Canadians in their Allen Cup days pack this building, and they say that you can get 3,000 fans in here if you get them standing everywhere. And the fact of the matter is, I'm surprised I don't see anybody hanging from the rafters. We have people everywhere in this building, including the press box, which is probably going to be shaking, rattling, and rolling during this hockey game. The Muskies and Kitchener St. Jerome's. The Fort Frances Muskies, gold in 86. They also have 4 silver and 1 bronze. They'd dearly like to add another medal here this evening. It's a matter of whether it will be gold or silver. You're listening to All Ontario High School Hockey on 64 CFOB, and we'll pause 90 seconds, and we'll be back with Kitchener and Fort Frances live right here at the Fort Frances Memorial Arena.
64 CFOB.
Well, here come the Fort Francis Muskies. You'll hear the roar. This hockey game is only moments away, and Wayne Strand leads the Fort Francis Muskies onto the ice, as he always does. And St. Jerome's is onto the ice, too. Let me tell you, these two teams are eyeing each other up as they're skating around the ice, and rightly so, because in a matter of minutes, the two best teams in Ontario are going to get it on here at the Fort Francis Memorial Arena. The winner picks up a gold medal, and Doug McBride, I don't think there's any better way of ending a hockey season than by wrapping a gold medal around your neck.
That's right, John. This one's for all the marbles. And taking a look over at the Lions team over there, looks like they have some pretty big boys on their lineup.
Well, they certainly do. They've been a consistent team. They have had a lot of luck with good discipline, and that's something that the Fort Francis Muskies have always enjoyed. That's going to be a key factor for the Muskies as usual. But discipline is something that has been lacking in a lot of the teams that have played the Fort Francis Muskies. The Muskies so far have picked up 7 power play goals in their 5 games, and coupled with the outstanding contribution, of course, that the fans make, 2,500 to 3,000 fans in this building gives them a tremendous home ice advantage. You take 1 power play goal, and you take probably a goal from the great fan support, and the Fort Francis Muskies have already gained a decided advantage on most teams. But Kitchener-St. Jerome's plays a disciplined style of hockey, and we're expecting them to stay out of the penalty box. Hey, they know all about the Fort Francis Muskies. They've done some scouting. They know what's going on. They know it's going to be a tough game. And for Kitchener-St. Jerome's, in order to beat Fort Francis, they are going to have to be very, very careful and not take any additional penalties. We're just about ready to here to get underway. They're going to make the announcements of who is going to be starting for both teams. Mike Freeman in the penalty box, and he's going to announce who is going to start for the Fort Francis Muskies, who is going to start for Kitchener-St. Jerome's. A packed arena here tonight. If you missed it earlier, they've sealed off the door. If you have a weekend pass, you're going to be able to get in. If you don't, well, chances are you're going to just have to stay and listen to this hockey game on the radio. Kitchener-St. Jerome's lineup being announced now. The starting goaltender for St. Jerome's tonight, Dean Carey, number 29. Number 5 will start on defense, Brad Shantz, and he'll be paired up on defense with number 36, I believe, and that is Matt Gazzola. Opening up on the center line for the Kitchener-St. Jerome's Hockey Club, Matt Laurie will take to the ice to start things off for them, and he'll be paired up with number 16, Brad Kugler, and number 10, Andre Charest. If there's one player to watch in this Kitchener-St. Jerome's Hockey Club, it is definitely number 10, Andre Charest. In one hockey game, he picked up 4 goals, and he's undoubtedly their best player. Charest, as I mentioned earlier, picked up something like 7 or 8 goals in this tournament in just 5 games, and number 10 is the man to watch. Fort Francis Muskies now being introduced, and if there's a pressure on any one particular player tonight, it might fall on the shoulders of number 26 veteran goaltender Chris Medicine. Chris played very well the first 4 games, a little shaky in game number 5, and he's going to have to come up with a big, strong performance as the Fort Francis Muskies win here tonight. On defense, as usual, captain, third-year man Bill Tucker. It's his final game in a Muskie uniform. He's paired up with third-year man Ken Pocock, also, I believe, playing in his final game. Another veteran on the wing, Jay Albright. He will be out there on the wing along with Jeff McEachern. And number 20, the spark plug, Brett Watt, will be out there as well to start things off for the Fort Francis Muskies. The rest of the Muskies come out, and it's good to see Shane Bliss. He looks fired up. If you joined us late, you might not know that Shane Bliss has been suffering from a touch of the flu, and we're very hopeful that Shane Bliss will be up to par for this hockey game tonight. He's a key element for the Fort Francis Muskies. It's time now for the official singing of the national anthem, and with that, we expect to hear from Michelle Turgeon, accompanied by... Looks like accompanied by a tape, Doug. I was going to see Myron on the piano or the organ, but it's not going to happen. Here's Michelle Turgeon with O Canada. Michelle Turgeon kicking things off officially. The two best teams in Ontario 60 seconds away from teeing it up here at the Fort Frances Memorial Arena. The Fort Frances Muskies, winners in 1986. They've been dry since then, and they're looking to get back with all Ontario gold right here and now at the Fort Frances Memorial Arena. What a setting for it. The Fort Frances Muskies, the tournament #1 seed. St. Jerome's from Kitchener, the tournament #5 seed. It's going to be a dandy hockey game as the Muskies congregate around their goal. And Doug McBride, we were there in 1986, and I don't think I've been any more excited at one particular hockey event in my life than when the Fort Frances Muskies brought home the gold in Oakville. It sent a chill up and down my spine doing that hockey game. And let me tell you, with 3,000 people wandering around this building, hanging from every nook and cranny possible, it's going to send a chill up and down the spine of 3,000 people, I'm sure, if the Fort Frances Muskies go on and win. And from what we understand, Kitchener St. Jerome's, they're a fired-up hockey club, but a tired one. They had a double overtime game last night. They had the single overtime game earlier today. And it's going to be a very, very long road for Kitchener St. Jerome's. The fatigue factor may be a part. Here come the Muskies over to the bench. They're led by number 16, Tim Lindberg. He's been a story in himself. Lindberg really coming on. I saw his brother Chris in the stands. There's some talk that Chris Lindberg might move on to the NHL, or at least sign with an NHL organization in the very near future. So we'll certainly keep you updated on that. Doug McBride, this is where it all happens. The Fort Frances Memorial Arena. The red line, Rob Tittlemeyer, the referee, just checking things out. And as far as the referee and linesmen go here this evening, I'm not familiar with the two linesmen. Rob Tittlemeyer from Kenora, quality referee, and he's been refereeing games for many, many years. The referees have been graded in this All-Ontario High School Hockey Championships, and Tittlemeyer has been judged to be the best referee. Therefore, he gets the call for this gold medal game. We're set for play-by-play action, and with that is Doug McBride.
Thank you very much, John Pierce. The teams are all lined up in center ice, ready for that puck to be dropped, and we have one full arena here at the Fort Frances Memorial Arena. The puck is dropped at center ice. Albright kicks it up to the Lions line. It's dumped up to the Fort Frances center line area and dumped in by number 10, Charest. Muskies have it in their own zone. It's Pocock circling in the corner, skips it along the boards to Albright. Albright pushes it ahead. Pocock is there, and it's picked up by McEachran. Up over center ice, in over the blue line. McEachran going for the net, and he runs into some trouble there, and it's cleared but not out. Bill Tucker had it momentarily before he overskates it. Now coming back down is Charest. He took a shot. That one's gloved by Medicine, and he'll leave the rebound. There's a quick shot. That one's high up over the glass side of the net. Puck right out in front. It's scooped away by McEachran in his own corner. He'll flip it up to the center ice area, and it'll be dumped back in, and offside is called. Just underway here at the Fort Frances Memorial Arena. 14-18 remaining in this opening period of play, and no score in this hockey game. Face-off will be coming up just outside the Fort Frances blue line.
Well, Doug, neither team appearing very tentative in this hockey game so far. Just 42 seconds in, but a number of scoring chances already at both ends of the rink, and both teams have come to play. They're laying the body on, trying to establish something early. And for the Fort Frances Muskies, it's very, very important that they keep themselves going physically, and players like Bill Tucker and Wayne Strand and players of that nature are going to have to lead the way. This is a big hockey club they're playing, and they have to be able to skate with them and hit with them.
Well, the puck is back in the Fort Frances zone. Up to Kim Tucker, up to Wayne Strand, in over the blue line. Strand goes for the corner. Tries to get it out to Horton. He gets clobbered into the boards, but Tucker's there to pick up that puck before it's shot back to the center ice area. Rego will hammer it back in to the Lions zone. The Lions bring it out to center ice. It's Saunders dumping it way ahead up to his teammate. They cut in. Passed out in front, and Higgins couldn't control it, just a little bit ahead of him. Rego from behind the net. He can't get it out. Out in front, it comes to Wilson. Wilson passes up to Strand. Strand loses it, but Horton's right behind her to pick it up. Back pass to Strand. It's chipped off into the corner area. Horton goes in there after it. It's picked up by the Lions. They can't get it out. Shot out in front of the net, and then it skips out to the center ice area. Bill Tucker shoots it back in to the Lions zone. Goaltender will stop it behind the net. It's picked up by Mintz. He fires it along the boards. Pocock has it just outside the blue line, and he'll dump it back into the Lions zone. Behind the net, it's Saunders. Saunders tries to pass it up, gets clobbered with his head down by Bill Tucker. Ken Pocock will pick that one up. He'll circle back into his own corner, runs into some problem, but Shane Bliss is there to pick up that loose puck. Bliss fires it up to the blue line area. Tries to get it to Herb. He can't handle it, and it's shot back into the Fort Frances zone. 12:55 remaining in the opening period. No score in this hockey game. Herb, rink-wide pass up to Spence. Spence will dump it in. Going after it, number 36, Gazzola. Fires it along the boards up to the center ice area. Albright is there. He'll shoot it back down right on goal. The goaltender, Carey, will clear it off to the side. Picked up by his teammate. But not out. It's Wilson. In over the line. Right out front. Watt took a shot. It was a mile wide. Rebound is picked up by Charest. And now the Lions come up to center ice. In over the blue line. Shoots it into the corner area. Bodied by Wilson. Loose puck is picked up. Now there's more action going on there. And there will be a penalty coming up. I believe to Dean Wilson of the Fort Francis Muskies. He'll be getting the gate. And the St. Jerome Lions will be on the power play.
Well, Dean Wilson taking a foolish penalty. He didn't have to trip and tie up Andre Charest in that manner, and he took him down. Charest again, number 10, is the key man for this team offensively. He's coming back out on the power play, and you can expect of a 45-minute game to see him play probably 30, 35 minutes at least. He double shifts, and he is their key cog as far as scoring. Wilson's going off for interference, and the Fort Francis Muskies are going to have to kill off a 2 minutes power play.
Well, the Muskies out there with 4 strong. Tucker out there along with Strad. They can't keep it in, and the Lions have to go back into their own zone to regroup. At the blue line area, Gib Tucker has it. Tucker will fire it up ahead. Strand sees that one along the board. Strand going for the corner. Strand gets pushed against the boards, and there'll be a penalty coming up to the St. Jerome Lions. And Strand was hit high up in the chest area towards the throat. He goes over and talks to that Lions player, and getting the gate. Number 5, Brad Chance. That's going to even things up.
Well, Wayne Strand has really changed over the course of a year. He's a real catalyst now for the Fort Francis Muskies on the penalty-killing unit, yet he took the puck deep into the St. Jerome's end, and Brad Chance tackled him behind the net. He couldn't keep up with Wayne Strand, and Chance is going to get a 2-minute penalty for interference, nullifying the power play for the St. Jerome's Lions.
11:56 remaining in the opening period. No score in this hockey game. Both teams playing 4 aside. Up there for the Muskies is puck to be dropped. Some anxious boys out there waiting for that puck to be dropped. The line up again. Puck is up. Took a shot. Good save. Rebound. Tucker shoots. Oh, just over the top of the net. Give Tucker back to Pocock at the point. He'll wind up. Took a shot. That one was way wide. Back to Bill. He'll wind up. Took a shot. Save. Rebound. It's golf. Just out over the line. Bill Tucker will circle. And he has some problems with it. It's scooped ahead. And now it's stolen by Chevrier. He took the shot. It's scooped off to the side of the net. And Higgins picks it up, gets it back to the point. Took a weak shot. Puck at the side of the net. There's another shot. And Edison's going to grab that one. Some sloppy play by the Fort Francis Muskies. We'll take a break in the action with no score. This is the All-Ontario Championship Game on CFOB. Play resumes with 11:05 remaining. Opening period coming down the ice. Higgins took a shot. That one's tipped up into the stands as Medicine made the save. As play starting to open up a little bit here in the opening parts of this hockey game, John.
Well, certainly, Doug. Both teams with 4 skaters out there on the ice. They're good skating hockey clubs, and they're making use of ample opportunity. Have the free ice given to them with 1 man in the penalty box for each team. Here on the bench, I don't think for long. I know Barney. He'll be pacing probably in the corner for about 25 more minutes. He should be vacating that bench area pretty quick.
Well, the Muskies bringing out along the blue line area. It's Rigo. He'll dump it in along the boards. Albright on the other side of the ice will get to it. Dumps it in behind the net. Cleared along the boards. Rigo will get it back. He can't stop it, and it's back into his own zone. Feeds it over to Horton. To Rigo. Back to Horton. To Herb. He'll fire it back into his own zone. Both teams playing 4 aside out there with a man in the box for each team. It's Albright to the blue line. In over the line. Over to Horton. He took a shot. Hit the defenseman. Horton gets the rebound back. Back on front to Rego. Took a shot. Good glove save by the goaltender. As Rego one time going off a pass from the corner. And the goaltender, Carey, was right there.
You know, that's one thing the Fort Francis Muskies really practicing hard on, one timing. And most of the Muskie players are able to, without stopping the puck, shoot it very quickly. And that time, Dean Carey was forced to make a big glove save off a nice slap shot by number 14, Manny Rego.
Well, the Fort Francis Muskies, for the next 20-odd seconds, will have a man advantage. Muskies power line out there. Gib Tucker, Wade Strand, and Marcel Horton. It comes back to the point, over to Pocock. He stops, has a look, takes a shot right at the goaltender. He saw it coming all the way and gloves it in the midsection. He's going to hang on for a whistle, which will be coming up once again down in the Lion zone.
Well, he said that very well. The only thing to do when the point to get somebody in front of the net. Ken Pocock put the puck right low on the goalie, but nobody was there to collect the rebound or chip it.
From the face-off, it's kept in by Pocock. He dumps it in. Horton has it. He'll steer it into the corner. It's picked up by number 9, Laurie, and he dumps it to center. Muskie's moving it in again. Tucker at the blue line. Winds up, took a shot, tip in, strand the side of the net. He couldn't get some wood on it. It was sitting there momentarily. He had it down in his skate area. Couldn't get a stick on it. The goaltender, Carey, was able to grab it and smother it. And went for another face-off down in the Lion zone.
9:55 left in this first period of play. No score. Both teams now playing at full strength.
Puck is dropped. Gib Tucker has it. Took a shot. Oh, and the goaltender got that one as a quick low drive. He picked it up right off the ice with his grabber there, showing some very quick reflexes.
Dean Carey has a very nice mitt. He's faced 7 shots so far in his first period, Doug, and he's caught 5 of them. He has a nice catching hand.
Well, the officials making sure everybody's onside. Puck is dropped. Back to the point. It comes out. Tucker has to wait for his teammates to get onside. It's behind the net. Carey will stuff it there for his teammate Schatz. Schatz tries to get it out, and that play is whistled dead. We'll take a break in the action with the score in this hockey game. This is the Gold Ontario High School Hockey Game on CFOB.
The Suzuki Quad Runners LF F300 and the LT F250 are the best-selling ATVs in Canada. On the job or on the trail, they pick up where other ATVs leave off. The Quad Runner LT F250 is one tough machine. It has a 246cc 4-stroke engine. The Quad Runner LT F300 has a bulletproof 293cc 4-stroke engine and a smooth shifting automatic clutch. You can see both of these Suzuki Quad Runners at Mueller Motors, where they are offering $1,000 off the price at Mueller Motors.
64 CFOB.
Gib Tucker behind the net. He's trying to get it out in front. It's going out in front. There's Strand. He scores! John, there's the first one for the Fort Francis Muskies. This place is very, very loud. I don't think I can hear myself. But it was Wayne Strand from Tucker.
Well, if you didn't know that they were Muskie fans in here before, you sure do now, and you're going to find tremendous support for the hometown Muskies. Wayne Strand opening up the scoring at the 5:47 mark of this first period. A nice feed from Gib Tucker. The Muskies are up by 1.
There comes Herb to center ice, hit over the blue line. Craig Herb going for the corner. And behind the play, a little extracurricular is going on with Manny Rego. And he for sure will be getting a penalty as Rego heads over to the penalty box area. I believe also one of the St. Jerome Lions players will be getting the game, number 21. Jim Barker will be also headed for the penalty bench.
Well, Barker and Rego were tied up behind the play a little bit. Rob Tittlemeyer, if there's one thing that I know about Rob Tittlemeyer as a referee, he's going to call everything that he sees. The games that are officiated by Tittlemeyer generally will feature anywhere from 15 to 20 minor penalties in a game. He keeps the steady stream going to the box. You can't pull anything on him. And that's why the Fort Francis Muskies are going to have to be very careful. Penalties could play such a key part in this game. But Rego and Jim Barker going off for roughing behind the play there. Of course, simultaneous penalties, coincidental minors, so both teams remain at full strength.
Well, the Lions trying to get it out. They can't do so. Spence in the corner. Bliss in there digging for it. Herb digs for it momentarily. It gets shoved ahead, and Ashmore gets it out for the Lions. Up the center ice. Ashmore with that puck. Tries to get in over the line. He can't do so. There's Muskies all over the place, and now it's Bliss. Bliss with center ice. Shoves it ahead, and then he's pushed up into the bench area. Albright, he took a shot. Rebound. McKechnie took a shot from a steep angle, and that missed the side of the net. Now the Lions trying to bring that puck back. It's number 15 with it, Ashmore. He gets up in it heavily as him and Horton collide. And it's Wilson. He passes it up ahead. White has it momentarily. A little scrambling in the center ice area before it's picked up by Wilson. He's knocked down, and the puck is rifled right back into the Fort Francis zone. Icing is called with 7:59 remaining opening period. 1-0 Muskies, and a face-off coming up back down in the St. Jerome Lions zone.
Head coach Terry Ogden of the Fort Francis Muskies has to be very pleased with the play of Marcel Horton. In the past 3 or 4 games, Doug, Marcel has played very well. The Muskies generally go with just 4 defensemen, and when Manny Rego went to the penalty box, Marcel Horton reverted back from his wing position on defense. And he's a real valuable commodity for the Fort Francis Muskies.
Strad facing off for the Muskies in there. He gets it right off the draw. Took a shot, deflects off into the corner. Puck is picked up then. It's cleared around the boards by Gazzola. He can't get it out. Spence is there. Now the Lions have it back. They cleared up to the center ice area. It's too far for Banner. And it's dumped back into their own blue line. There's Gib Tucker stealing that puck. He's got Lindbergh with him. Tucker cutting for the net. Right out in front. Goalie made a good poke check on the play. Puck is then picked up by Gazzello. He's tied up by Lindbergh. And that puck is freezed against the board. And plays called.
Well, in the first intermission, we'll be talking with assistant coach for St. Jerome's, Dave Tucker, will drop down the penalty box, and we also expect Fort Francis principal Jack Cameron to visit with us in that first intermission as well.
Well, Gib Tucker out there with Wade Strand along with Lindbergh on the points. We have Ken Pocock and Bill Tucker for the Muskies. Puck is dropped. Strand wins the draw. Back to Bill. He winds up, took a shot into traffic. Gibby behind the net, tries to jam it out in front. Loose puck there, picked up by Strand. Strand is knocked down. Gib Tucker gets it loose. Now the Lions break out of their own zone. And there will be a penalty coming up to the St. Jerome Lions. Number 10, Andre Charest getting the gate for the Lions.
Well, I told you earlier that Andre Charest was a big man for this hockey club. Offensively, he's their top scorer, and they also put him out a lot on the penalty killing unit. So one of their best penalty killers going to the bench. The Fort Francis Muskies will go with the big line. Marcel Horton out there now back on wing, along with Wayne Strand and Gibby Tucker on defense, Pocock and Bill Tucker.
7:22 remaining in the opening period to score 1-0 in favor of the Fort Francis Muskies. From the faceoff, it's back to Pocock at the point. He's going to have a look. Winds up, took a shot. It's deflected high up into the glass in the corner area. Bill Tucker comes in. And the puck gets past him and fired down the ice by Clinton. Medicine is out to stop that one. Rounding the ice is Pocock. Gives it up to Gib Tucker. Tucker to Strand in over the blue line. Strand with it. Puts on the brakes. Strand along the boards to Pocock. Muskie setting up on the power play. Strand in the corner to Gib Tucker. Back to Pocock. Pocock takes a shot into the corner. Picked up by one of the Lion players. Saunders along the boards. Gives it up to teammate number 22, Higgins, and it's dumped back down into the Fort Francis zone. Pocock back to get it for the Muskies. Up to Strand. It's off his stick, and the Schatz has it. He can't get it out. They have it behind their net. Shoot it up along the boards to the blue line area where it's backhanded back down into the Fort Francis zone. Ken Pocock back to get it for the Muskies. Passes up to his own blue line to Herb. Herb gets squeezed out of the play, and the puck is knocked by Bill Tucker up to Lindbergh. Lindbergh at center ice. It's fed in. Bliss is racing in there. Goaltender will clear it along the boards, and the puck just squirts out over the blue line area. Wilson at center ice. And it's shot in by Wilkins for the Muskies. Collision behind the net with Lindbergh. Herb has it. He's in the corner. Back passes it to Wilkins. Back to Herb. Herb with it for the Muskies. Winds up. Took a shot right into traffic. Scramble side of the net. The net is also knocked off its moorings. As Herb unleashed a shot. Bliss tried for the tip in, but I think the puck hit mostly him.
Yes, it did, Doug. Barker and Rego now coming out of the penalty box. Mark Wilkins seeing his first action of this gold medal game as he was out on the power play. Kind of an unusual occurrence for Wilkins. He doesn't usually see action on a power play situation, but head coach Terry Ogden showing some confidence in the rookie performer, putting him out there with the Fort Francis Muskies with still a few seconds left in their first power play of this hockey game.
Puck is dropped. Lindbergh back to the point. He has it there. Skate back towards the corner area. Back to Rego. Winds up, took a shot, saves, scramble side of the net. And it's picked up by Lane, and he'll clear it down the ice. All the way back down into the Fort Francis zone. 5:22 remaining. First period, 1-0 for the Muskies. Rego up to center ice. Herb can't get it. It's dumped back in. Charest getting it out in front. And his teammate was there, Laurie, but he couldn't get a stick on it. Medicine helped clear that away to the corner area. Lindbergh to center ice. He'll slap it in and head for the bench. Muskies send another fresh line out there as they change on the fly. Waddle's out there. Also McEachran and Albright. McEachran circles at center ice. Dumps it into the corner. Albright skating after it. Albright tied up in the corner with Saunders. A couple more players come in, and they'll call that. From the Fort Francis Memorial Arena, this is the gold medal game in the All-Ontarios on CFOB.
Good luck, teams, in the All-Ontario High School Hockey Championships.
We're back to the action at the Fort Francis Memorial Arena. Muskies apply some pressure, then it's dumped out to the center ice area. Big collision back in the Lions zone. Watt has it. Watt in over the line. Tries to cut his way through. It's cleared away. Watt in there digging for it again. Puck is loose momentarily before it's skipped up, but not out. Bill Tucker came way in, and now he gets caught back. Saunders to center ice. Keeps it up ahead. Pass out in front to Saunders. He can't get it. He'll go in the corner for it, though. Passes out in front. Scrabble side of the net. It's Albright. He golfs at it, but he can't get it out. From behind the net, the Muskies will gain control of it. It's Watt. He'll chip it out to the center ice area. Saunders will take a long. And that one stopped by Medicine. That play's called with 3:50 remaining in the opening period. 1-0 for the Muskies.
Well, it's been a very exciting first period of hockey here at the Fort Francis Memorial Arena. Just one goal, Wayne Strand from Gib Tucker. That came at 5:47 in this first period. The Muskies have not lacked opportunities. So far, 11 shots on goal to just 4 for the St. Jerome's Lions.
Well, a face-off coming up just over the center ice area towards the Muskies end of the ice. Strand, Horton, and Gib Tucker out there up front for the Muskies. Puck is dropped, and it's back into the Lions zone. Some good hustle in there by Horton. Puck is chopped back to center ice. Wilson is back to get it for the Muskies. He'll clear it up ahead for Horton. They digging away for it in there. Strand trying to get it loose. Can't do so. And play is called as Dean Wilson comes in there. He piles in and play is called.
Well, we expect that from Mean Dean. He's a real trigger force for this hockey club, and he's in everywhere. Muskie coach Terry Ogden sometimes gets a little nervous with Dean out there because he thinks offense all of the time, but he creates so many opportunities. Doug, we were talking a little bit before this hockey game, and realistically, if the MVP is selected during this hockey game or right after, I think that Dean Wilson has as good a chance as any of winning the most valuable player of this tournament. He's been that valuable to the Fort Francis Muskies.
Now it's Gonzalo in over the line. He dumps it up ahead. Medicine steers that one off into the corner. Gib Tucker trying to get at that puck. He's tied up along the board, still digging for it. Gets it loose. It's skipped out to the center ice area. Hammered back in by Gonzalo. There's a big collision there with Rego. And another one of the Lions players, number 13, Banner. Rego apparently a little shaken up as he was pushed in the head area. He's okay. He'll pick his stick up. And play is called on that.
Well,
will be a penalty.
Yes, penalties to both Rego and Fanner. Fanner actually doing all the damage as he had Rego tied up, threw a punch to his head. But as is the case in most big games, Doug, if you have a couple of players mixing it up, generally, unless it's very, very flagrant, they're both going to sit 2 minutes, and that was the case. They're both getting 2 for roughing. Number 14, Manny Rego for the Fort Francis Muskies, and Fanner for Paul Fanner for the St. Jerome's Lions.
Even 3 minutes left in his first period. 1-0 for the Fort Francis Muskies. The puck is dropped and shot back into the Fort Francis zone. Bill Tucker. There's an offside on the play as it's shot back in by the St. Jerome Lions with 2:52 remaining opening period. A very full arena down here at the Fort Francis Memorial Arena. I mean, really full. There is no seats, and there is many, many people standing up along the walls. It's just packed. Puck is cleared into the Lion zone. Along the boards, it's squeezed against the boards by Watt, number 9, Mike Larry, and they'll tie things up there for a whistle.
Doug, at this point in time, I'd like to pass along a special thanks to those people who have graciously sponsored.
A scramble out in front, and Albright has dumped Emily. There will be another penalty coming up. to the St. Jerome Lions. And they're going to have to catch on to Dittlemeyer because he does not let anything get by. And that is going to cost them once again and give the Fort Francis Muskies the man advantage. We'll take a break in the action from the Fort Francis Memorial Arena. This is the championship gold medal game on CFOB. There's Gib Tucker out in front. He labels a shot. Gib Tucker right out in front. Nobody there. Bill Tucker can't keep it into the point. He'll have to circle back to center ice. Passes it up to Gib. Gib it over the blue line. Passes it over. Horton one time a shot. Didn't miss by much, and the goaltender will grab the rebound on that one. As the Muskies coming close to putting that second puck in the net for this period. Face-off will be coming up deep down in the Lions zone. St. Jerome Lions making a couple late changes.
Well, these St. Jerome Lions coming here, Doug, with a 36-6-3 record, an outstanding regular season. They've added 5 consecutive wins on the year now. They're 41-6-3. That's a quality hockey club.
Well, now Strand gets bumped out of the face-off circle. Gibby Tucker will go in there. They'll be facing off against Andre Charette. Sent along the boards. Tucker in there digging for it. They'll hold it there for a whistle. And there's 1:59 remaining in this opening period of play at the Fort Francis Memorial Arena. Muskies up by 1. It's 1-0.
Well, Christy Evans back at the studio, Doug, has mentioned to us that we've had a bit of a technical problem with cutting in and out. I think it might have a lot to do with the maze of equipment and people up here. I think I've rectified the problem, and we apologize for any inconvenience and a breakup of the broadcast we may have had earlier in this first period.
There's Gib Tucker behind the net. Tucker back to Pocock at the point. He winds up, it's blocked, but then he gets it back and dumps it into the corner along the boards. Pocock keeps it in at the point. Into Gib Tucker, walks in, took a shot. That one missed, not by much. Bill Tucker along the boards. Strand picks it up. Strand cutting for the net, walking right in, still has it, took a shot. Didn't miss by much, and one of the Lions is nailed in the crease area. Now the Muskies will tie things up in the corner for them. And play is called as the Muskies coming very close once again to putting that puck in the net.
Oh, so close. Gib Tucker moved out front, whistled a slap shot just inches wide of the post. Then Wayne Strand moved in from the other side, from left to right, and had a good opportunity, and he himself just couldn't seem to put the puck in the net. Doug, there's an awful lot of scoring opportunities going on right now. The Fort Francis Muskies are on the power play. 40 seconds left in the penalty to the St. Jerome Lions.
Oh, now one of the Lions players, number 27, Barker, falls down on the puck in the corner area. Play is called. We'll have another face-off with 1:15 remaining in this opening period of play here at the Fort Francis Memorial Arena. Tucker, Strand, and Horton up front for the Muskies. Bill Tucker and Kemp Pocock back on the point. On the face-off. It's picked up by Bill Tucker behind the net. Tried to get it on front. Oh, Gib Tucker did get a piece of that one, but the goaltender was there. Back to the point. Shot taken by Bliss. He's out there. Along the boards now, there's some shoving going on. Strand tries to get that puck loose. Bill Tucker walks right in there, and he gets it back to Pocock at the point. Pocock into Bill Tucker. He winds up, took a shot. Oh, side of the net. The puck was wide open. So was the net. They're both just sitting there. The net and the puck, and no one could put it in. It was cleared away. 37 seconds remaining, opening period. Pocock back to his blue line. Passes up to Bliss. He pushes up ahead, and now it's Higgins. Higgins moving up to the blue line. Muskies catch up to him and take the puck away from him. Wilson up to the blue line. And it's cleared out of the zone and then back into the Fort Francis zone. Wilson in the corner. He'll clear it up to Lindbergh. He can't get a stick on it. Back to the Lions blue line area. That one will come in on Medicine rather weakly. He'll steer it off to the corner. Pocock will go in there, and that'll do it for the first period. After one period of play in this gold medal game, it's the Fort Francis Muskies 1, the St. Jerome's Lions no score. We'll be back with our first period intermission right after these.
High school, we're just a minute or so away from the start of this second period. We're going to take a 30-second timeout, and we'll be back with second period action live from the Fort Francis Memorial Arena. We're back live at the Fort Francis Memorial Arena. The Road to Gold ends right here at the arena in Fort Francis. The Fort Francis Muskies up by 1 goal after the first period of play. St. Jerome's Lions coming back out on the ice. The Muskies are all at the bench. We're ready to start the second period of play. Doug McBride, the first period was exciting. If you were listening during the interview, I asked the assistant coach Dave Tucker for the St. Jerome Lions whether or not his hockey club could continue at this hectic pace. And Doug, the St. Jerome's assistant coach, said, no problem. Our boys are ready. They may be tired, but they're going to give it their all. They're going to continue at this high fever-pitched pace. And if that's the case, we're in for a dandy second period.
Well, John, right here in this type of game, just about anything can happen. The puck is dropped at center ice. Albright has it, and he'll scoop it back down into the Lions zone. Back there to pick it up is Saunders. Saunders shoots it back up to the center ice area. Skating down the ice is number 23, Higgins. He gets there. He takes a shot on net. It's stopped by Medicine. Puck is loose in the corner before it's tied up, and play is called. Just underway here at the Fort Francis Memorial Arena for period number 2. The Muskies up by a score of 1-0.
Well, this is game number 6 for both of these hockey clubs. They've won 5 consecutive games, but it doesn't mean a whole lot to either team. I don't think they've gone this far. They want that gold around their neck. This is the big one.
Right out in front, a big shot by number 21. Didn't miss by much. Now it's back to the center ice area. Albright had it momentarily. It's chipped back into the Fort Francis zone. Higgins drives it into the Fort Francis zone behind the net. Medicine stops it. Pocock is behind the net. Collides with 2 players from the Lions. Now it's Watt bringing it up. Albright passes to McEachran. McEachran into the corner. Passes out to Watt. He can't get his stick on it. And now it's picked up. Well, one of the Lions players, they bring it up. It's knocked away by Wilson. Wilson holds it at the blue line area. Then it's shoved in. Laurie goes after it. In the corner. McEachran gets it along there. Kept in at the point by number 5, Shantz. And now the Muskies steal it and bring it out. It's Watt. Tries to headband the back up to Albright. He can't handle it. Turned back down the air. Charest cutting in. Charest works his way through. He's knocked down. Albright clears it back outside the blue line area. Play a little scrambly here. Watt dumps it down the ice. The Lions bring it down in over the blue line area. And there's an offside on the play. Things a little unorganized as play starts here in the second period, John.
Well, neither team really wants to make a mistake at this stage, Doug. When you get into a big hockey game like this, both these teams have scored a lot of goals. They've prevented a number of goals as well. And so it stands to reason it's going to be a pretty close game. Giving up a foolish goal by taking a silly penalty or by coughing the puck up could very well change the tempo in the course of this hockey game. So both teams playing it very, very careful in the opening stages of this second period.
Well, the Muskies with their power line out there. Wayne Strand facing off against number 17, Clinton. There's a long shot from outside the blue line area. Muskies clear it back out to the center ice area where it's shot back into the stands and then back on the ice. And that is whistled, Dad. We'll have another face-off coming up. 13:05 remain in the second. A 1-0 hockey game in favor of the Fort Francis Muskies. And, John, I don't think that before too long there will be another goal scored here.
Exactly right, Doug. I think that there's a feeling amongst all the players here that they want to get this game going. They're very, very excited. And for St. Jerome's, they don't want to wait too long. They've been outshot by the Fort Francis Muskies to a tune of 3-1. Muskies 12 shots so far, and St. Jerome's just 4. And they know that they have to keep pumping the shots at Medicine if they have any hopes of scoring and getting back into this game.
Well, the Muskies back in their own corner having some problems getting it out. Back to Wilson. Wilson has it momentarily, but is pumped back in by Saunders behind the net. Wilson picks it up now. He'll backhand it out to Gib Tucker. Tucker to Strand. Strand in over the blue line. He's got Gibby with him. Strand shot off the post. And it deflects way out to the blue line area. Coming back now is Barker. Hit over the line. Barker tries to penetrate through the defenseman. Can't do so. Takes a shot, and it's away from the net, and it's backhanded down the ice. Muskie's making some changes on the fly. Icing is called. We'll take a break in the action. From the Fort Francis Memorial Arena, this is the All-Ontario Championships on CFOB. We're back to the action at the Fort Francis Memorial Arena. Muskie's cutting in with that putt. Bliss drops it out in front. There's a shot taken. Herb can't get much wood on it. Bill Tucker keeps it in, turns and drills one. Goalie turns around, and he'll grab that at the side of the net. and he's going to hang on to that one with 11:45 remaining in this second period.
Well, Kitchener Jerome's facing a tough Fort Francis Muskie squad in their own zone there. The Muskies bottling them up and getting a couple of more opportunities. I really question, though, whether Kitchener can maintain this very, very hectic pace, Doug. It was double overtime as they defeated South Carleton. It was single overtime as they defeated Monarch Park. They've had 3 games in 24 hours. They played an awful lot of hockey. And at some point in time, they're down a few bodies as well, several players not being able to go for them. It's going to be very, very tough for them to maintain this type of pace throughout the entire game. Rob Tittlemeyer blowing the whistle. He's going over and going to have a chat with one of the players, getting things sorted out. Rob Tittlemeyer, of course, coming in from Kenora for these All-Ontario High School Hockey Championships. He's known for calling a very, very tight hockey game, and he's done so far in this game.
Well, it's still a 1-0 hockey game. The puck is dropped. The Lions trying to get it out of their own zone. They flip it up to the center ice area. And that one's up into the penalty box area, and they'll get a new puck, and play will resume. As soon as they retrieve another puck and have a face-off just inside the center ice area towards the Fort Francis goaltender.
Well, Doug, good news for Fort Francis Muskie fans listening in. Shane Bliss, while not appearing to be 100%, has seen a fair amount of action so far in this hockey game. He's been looking pretty good, and he's making a contribution to this gold medal cause.
Well, the puck is at the center ice area. Wilson will hold it there. Let's take a break in the action from the Fort Francis Memorial Arena. This is the All-Ontario Championship Game on CFOB. We're back here live at the Fort Francis Memorial Arena with a very full arena. Face-off will be coming up back down in the St. Jerome Lions zone. 11:07 remaining in this second period of play. Crowd wants a goal. Muskies have come very close on numerous occasions to putting that puck in the net. Dean Carey has played a good game so far for the Lions in net. And now the Lions break out. It's Laurie down the ice. Pocock back, walks right in, took a shot, missed the net. Now here comes Watt, the center ice. Watt in over the line, and he gets handcuffed. Clothesline, whatever you want to call it. And there will be a penalty coming up. Also, Bill Tucker will be getting a penalty for the Fort Francis Muskies. And that's going to even that out.
Well, Bill Tucker getting a little carried away there as he took number 9 into the boards very heavily. Mike Laurie had horse-colored Brett Watt, and Bill Tucker took exception to it behind the St. Jerome's net. Took Laurie into the boards very heavily with what I would consider to be a borderline check. It could have been a charge, Doug. It could have been boarding, or it could have been let go. In this case, because Laurie had taken a penalty, Tucker will get one too, and Tittlemeyer will even things up. And the Fort Francis Muskies and St. Jerome's will stay at 5 aside, 5 skaters and the goaltender.
10:50 remaining in the second period of play. We're just about set to drop that puck. Both teams will be playing 5 aside with those coincidental penalties. Roughing is the call for the penalties. Muskies with their power line out there. From the face-off, it's picked up by number 11, Lane. Lane to center ice. He'll take a shot in there. Chops at that puck again. It'll trickle in, and Medicine will hang on to that one. A couple bodies go flying after the play is called. And this time we'll bring the face-off down on the other end of the ice, just to Medicine's right.
4:19 has gone by so far in the second period of play. The Fort Francis Muskies not officially registered a shot on goal. Meanwhile, St. Jerome's has already registered 3 in this second period.
Tight hockey game here at the Fort Francis Memorial Arena. More shoving going on. That puck is buried in the corner, and play is called. John, this is about as quiet as you could get it in this arena with this many people.
Well, Doug, they all seem to be sitting on their hands, sitting on the edge of their seats. They're waiting for something to happen, and this period really has amounted to just a game of shinny, no real great scoring opportunities. These fans are ready to erupt, and I'm sure that the Fort Francis Muskies would like to give them something to erupt for. The Muskies looking to go up 2-0, 10:36 remaining in the second period.
Pocock backhands it behind the net to Strand. Strand tries to get up to Tucker. He can't handle it, and it's shot back down into the Fort Francis zone. Horton along the boards. He can't do anything with it. Shot back in. Stolen right out in front, walking in, and then a good check by Marcel Horton. And one of the Lions players, after rushing for the net, collided heavily with the post area. Number 17, Dave Clinton. He's just a little slow getting up. I think he'll be okay.
Well, Dave Clinton was just inches away from going in cold turkey on a breakaway, and Chris Medicine, Marcel Horton got back just at the last second, slid with his stick out, knocked the puck away, and knocked down number 17, Dave Clinton, who flew into the net. He appears to be okay as he gets up and skates to the bench. But another example of the value of Marcel Horton coming back, acting as a defenseman, getting back there, and preventing a good chance on goal.
There's a face-off. Puck is dumped into the corner. Pocock picks it up. He'll skate behind the ice around the net area. Gives it up to Strand. Here comes Strand. Partial break. He cuts right in. Took a shot. Goalie rebound. Scores! Wade Strad coming in. He elected to shoot. He had Tim Lindbergh to the right of him. He shot. The goaltender made a very nice save, but the rebound was there, and Tim Lindbergh smacked it in.
Well, Lindbergh went in three directions. His helmet went in the corner. His body went behind the net, and the puck went in the net, Doug, and the Fort Francis Muskies with 10:01 left go up by 2-1 count, 2-0 count, pardon me. Wayne Strad moving in, used Lindbergh as a decoy, fired a quick shot. Lindbergh was there for the rebound, and he gives the Muskies a 2-0 lead.
Well, the puck is cleared back down. There will be another penalty coming up. Wilson playing without his helmet. He gets clobbered in the corner. And now there will be a penalty coming up, I believe, to Craig Erg, of the Fort Francis Muskies, as he heads over to the penalty bench. And he'll get in there. That's going to put the Jerome Lions on the power play for the next couple of minutes. 9:48 remaining second period. 2-0 Muskies, and a good opportunity for the Lions to get on the scoreboard.
Well, Doug, it is Craig Erb taking the penalty, and he'll go over and serve 2 minutes. The Lions very fortunate, actually, not to pick up an extra penalty as Steve Allen, after, number 5 for the Fort Francis Muskies, Dean Wilson, has lost his helmet. Wilson went in to touch the puck, which meant that the whistle was blown. Immediately after he did that, number 8, Steve Allen, cranked him into the boards, and I'm surprised that Rob Tintelmeyer didn't give him a penalty, but the Muskies now down a man. St. Jerome's on the power play.
Jerome with the puck in the corner, Muskie corner. Digging in there, number 17, Clinton, back to the point. They dump it back in. Cut it out in front. Pass. And that puck is up into the stands. It's the Jerome Lions, John. It looks like they have a pretty good power play out there, handling and passing that puck quite nicely in the last 10 or 15 seconds.
Well, Doug, they have the three elements you need on the power play. First of all, they have good puck handling ability. Secondly, they're big and strong. And thirdly, their skating ability is great. They move the puck around real well, and they get those big forwards in front of the net, and it makes it very difficult for Chris Medicine to see.
There's a shot from the point. Didn't miss by much. Saunders picks up that loose puck. Saunders has it. Cuts right out in front. One time's the shot. Medicine has it. Scramble side of the net. And it's dumped down the ice now by Pocock. And it's going to go all the way down nice and slow. Muskie's making some changes. Pocock saving the moment as he was able to clear that puck. 8:57 remaining. 1:06 remaining in the penalty. In over the line come the Lions. Horton rides that Lion player into the boards. Puck comes loose right out in front. Lions apply more pressure. They're trying to get it out in front again. It's high up into the other corner. It's picked up by Laurie. Horton is there. He can't do anything with it. Lions working right out in front. There's a shot. He scores! Number 7, Todd Saunders picks up the first goal of the hockey game for the St. Jerome Lions, and it's a 2-1 hockey game.
Well, the Fort Francis Muskies guilty of coughing up the puck and then running around. Marcel Horton had the puck behind the net. He was knocked off it. Then he was picked. In other words, the St. Jerome player skated in front of Horton, prevented him from getting out front of the net. And number 7, John Saunders, took a pass to the to the left of the Fort Francis Muskie goaltender. Chris Medicine has fired a quick shot into an open net. And Saunders, number 7, the assistant captain, a defenseman, has picked up the first goal with 8:31 left in this period for St. Jerome.
From center ice, puck is dumped into the Fort Francis zone once again. It's Rigo. Rigo into the corner area, leaves it for Lindbergh. He turns around, dumps it up ahead. Nobody there. A long shot from center ice, and play is called. Let's take a break in the action from the Fort Francis Memorial Arena. This is the championship game on CFOB. 2-1 in favor of the Fort Francis Muskies. The St. Jerome Lions have been coming on pretty strong in the second period of play. 8:01 remaining in this second period. Our faceoff will be coming up deep down in the Fort Francis zone. Strand facing off against Ashmore. Muskies have control of it. It's flipped up to center ice. To Strand. It's too far. He can't control it. Tucker has it momentarily, and it's flipped up into the Fort Francis bench, and they'll go get another puck.
Well, in the second intermission, I'm hoping to hear from Rick Riedenoff, who's the convener of this All-Ontario High School Hockey Tournament. He's worked long and hard on this tournament for the past year or so, and Rick, of course, is a very, very busy man, Doug, running around downstairs administrating the final game of this hockey tournament. But if he can wind his way through the 3,000-strong throng here, we'll see Rick Riedenoff in the second intermission.
7:50 remaining in second period. Face-off just outside the Lions' blue line. Shane Bliss, along with Herb Lindbergh out there. Pocock and Bill Tucker back on the fence. Puck comes back to the Fort Francis defenseman. Tucker has it at center ice. He's going to skate with it to the blue line. Cutting for the corner. Lindbergh's out in front. Tucker stops. Still has it. Shoots it back behind the net area. Lindbergh in there looking for it. Puck comes loose. Kept in at the point by Pocock. He drives one in. It's way wide. Tucker will crash in. And it's intercepted and shot back in by Herb. Goaltender will stop that behind the net. Get along behind the ice. Bounces out to the blue line area. Couple players go down heavy. Lions cutting in, and there's an offside on the play. And the Lions very upset with that, as they had a three-man on one break in the Fort Francis zone. And there will be a penalty coming up to Bill Tucker of the Fort Francis Muskies. That happened a little bit behind the play, John.
Well, what happened was Bill Tucker knew he was beaten. The puck had been chipped up along the boards. He was just going to lay a hit on the St. Jerome's player. He did it, and he's been whistled by Rob Tittlemeyer for interference. Tucker for interference at the 7:08 mark in the second period. St. Jerome's once again goes on the power play, Doug, and they've come very close to tying this hockey game up before. It's 2-1. And the one goal they have in this hockey game, a power play goal. So they send the big guns out on the power play looking to tie this game at 2.
7 minutes and 8 seconds remain. Second period. Shane Bliss, the assistant captain of the Fort Francis Muskie, talking it over a little bit with Tittlemeyer over by the penalty bench. Not much you can do about it. Bliss is going to head over to the bench and have a word with Terry Ogden. And now they're ready to get this game underway once again from the center ice area. Muskies making a couple late changes, sending Gib Tucker out there along with Wayne Strand, and managed to get those two players rested up during that little break. Center ice, it's Wilson. Wilson gets shoved up into the bench area, and now there'll be a penalty coming up for the St. Jerome Lions. Dean Wilson was boarded fairly, but after he was up on the edge of the bench area, he was hit again. The Lions player tried to knock him over into the bench and got a penalty for it.
Well, Todd Saunders is going to serve 2 minutes. He was the man that scored the goal just a couple of minutes ago to cut the deficit for St. Jerome's to 1 goal at 2-1, but he tried to push Dean Wilson right up into the Fort Francis Muskie bench, and he's going to pick up a cross-checking penalty, and that's exactly the type of thing that St. Jerome's wants to stay away from. Fort Francis Muskies are a terrific skating club. St. Jerome's has proven they can skate with them, but by nullifying the opportunity on the power play, they've really robbed themselves of a great chance to tie this hockey game up. 7 minutes left in the second period.
2-1 for the Muskies. Face-off coming up just outside the Lions' blue line. Wayne Strand will face off against Andre Charest. And right off the face-off, it's up into the Lions players bench area, and they get a new puck. They have another face-off right back where they were. Muncie's going to make a couple changes. Horton goes off. Coming out is Manny Rigo. It's back to Wilson. Over to Rigo. Rigo flips it up to Gib Tucker. Gib Tucker back pass to Rigo. Winds up. He took a shot. It hit Here's a breakaway for Charest. Wilson is back, and he made a good play. Now there will be a penalty coming up. As Dean Wilson, once again, diving all over the place, but definitely making a good defensive move. I think, John, we'll get a penalty for it, but if there ever was a good penalty, I guess that's it.
Well, Andre Charest was going in cold. Had Dean Wilson skated back real hard and known the puck was coming by him to Andre Charest, he would have been able to prevent the breakaway, but Wilson was caught flat-footed a little bit. He was able to catch Charest. He hooked him to the ice, and you're quite right. Charest was going in cold on the Chris Medicine, and Dean Wilson was able to get the puck off his stick, hook him to the ice, and that's a great penalty to take. It prevented a goal, I'm sure, for the St. Jerome's Lions.
So we're getting fewer and fewer hockey players out there as seconds tick off here in the second period. The Muskies have 3 out there at this moment. Strand, Horton, and Kent Pocock. The Lions have 4 players. Chopped right out in front. Medicine had to be quick to get the rebound there as number 23, Higgins, was right there to try to slash that puck in, but Medicine was there with his glove hand, and he smothered that one. Another face-off deep down in the Fort Francis zone. 6:38 remaining second period. 2-1 in favor of the Muskies. There's Strand stealing that puck. He gets knocked down. It's back into the Lions zone. They clear it up to the center ice area. Pocock in there. Now Strand picks it up. Strand collides heavily with Charest. Horton tries to feed it up to Strand. It's too far for him. Shots behind the net for the Lions. He gets away. Fenton to center ice. Fenton in over the blue line, going slowly to Charest. Walking right in, took a shot, open net, shot, he scores! Number 23, Rick Higgins, picks up the goal, the tying goal for the St. Jerome's Lions. This hockey game is all tied at 2-2. 6 minutes remaining in the second period. We'll take a break in the action with this hockey game all tied at 2. This is the championship game on CFOB.
Visser Auto and Truck Accessories on the Highway in Emo has all the parts and accessories you need for your vehicle, including heavy truck and trailer parts. They stock Weatherhead hydraulic hoses and fittings, Autolite plugs, Baldwin filters, and available at their Fort Francis location, liquid air welding gases. Visser Auto and Truck Accessories, located on the Highway in Emo and in Fort Francis at the corner of Highway 11 and Boundary Road. Open Monday to Friday, 8 to 5, and Saturdays till noon.
Back in the Fort Francis Memorial Arena, play continues. It's one at center ice. Rigs it in, gives it to McEachran. McEachran circles back to the center ice area. McEachran gets around one man. McEachran right in. Another nice move. McEachran backhands when the goaltender grabbed it. And he's going to hang on it out with 5:43 remaining second period. We're all tied at 2-2 at the Fort Francis Memorial Arena.
Well, the St. Jerome's Lions beginning to dominate in this hockey game. They picked up a couple of power play goals. The ironic twist here is that the Fort Francis Muskies are famous for their power play, and they generally pick up an awful lot of power play goals in a tournament of this nature. But so far, they haven't got one. St. Jerome's has 2, and they've tied this hockey game at 2 with 5:38 left in the second period.
Bill Tucker keeps it in. Goes over to Pocock. He winds up. He took a shot, and the goalie didn't see it, but it hit him, and then he grabbed the rebound, which was sitting right in front of him. And he's going to hang on to that. We'll have another face-off coming up deep down in the Lions zone.
Well, it was Wayne Strand in the first period to give the Muskies a 1-goal advantage going into period number 2. Then it was Tim Lindberg from Strand at 4:59 in the second period. The Muskies appeared to be in control, up 2-0. But power play goals by Todd. 5:31 left in the second period.
Well, they're all lined up waiting for that puck to be dropped. Playing for a side out there. The fans want a goal. Bring it up to the center ice area. It's Higgins. In over the line. Bill Tucker's back there for the Muskies. Tucker. He leaves it there. McEachran skating well. Gives it up to Watt. Watt in over the blue line. Took a weak shot. Into the corner. Watt going after it. Bats it out in front. Bill Tucker's there. Tucker in the corner. Steps out the side of the net. Loose puck. It's grabbed by the goaltender who saw it coming, and it just about squirted past him. McEachran was there all alone, but the goalie got it first.
Well, the Fort Francis Muskies trying to put some pressure on St. Jerome's here. The Muskies are tied up with 5:05 left in the second period. It's 2 apiece. The penalties currently being served by Dean Wilson and by Todd Saunders are about ready to expire. And pretty soon the Fort Francis Muskies will look to go on a short power play.
5:05 remaining second period. We're all tied at 2-2 here at the Fort Francis Memorial Arena. Past the midway part in this hockey game. It's cleared up. Horton has it at center ice. He's bodied by one of the Lions players. It was Saunders who clobbered Horton. Strand is out there for the Muskies. He can't do anything with it. And now, coming back is Saunders in over the line, looking for someone to pass it to. Puck trickles off into the corner. Tried to get it out in front. Puck is loose. It's picked up by Spence. To Strand. Here comes Strand at center ice. Hit over the blue line. Wade Strand took a shot. Rebound. Attacker. He scores! Well, there's that combination once again. Notching another goal for the Muskies. Donna was Strand, and Gib Tucker got a couple whacks at it, got her up in the net.
Well, you can never go wrong when you shoot the puck on the net. That time, Wayne Strand, Gibby Tucker, and Dean Wilson were coming in across the line. Strand was on the left-hand side. He just teed it up, blasted a shot, and Gibby Tucker broke for the slot area, picked up the rebound, kicked it up to his stick, and put it in the goal, giving the Muskies a 3-2 advantage. For Wayne Strand, he has a goal and 2 assists on the night, and for Gibby Tucker, he has 1 goal and 1 assist. An outstanding contribution made offensively by those two men. In fact, I think that the play of Dean Wilson, Bill Tucker, Gib Tucker, and Wayne Strand is going to make things very, very interesting come time for MVP voting if the Fort Francis Muskies win this hockey game. If you haven't heard, the most valuable player of this hockey tournament receives a watch courtesy Danny Johnson and Bulliva, valued at over $300. And there are certainly a whole lot of players on the Fort Francis Muskies that could win that.
Oh, no, the puck is chipped back into the Fort Francis zone. Watt has it at center ice. He collides heavy with number 27. They both go down, Barker and Watt. And now the Muskies have it again. McEachran in over the line. There's a shot taken, gloved by the goaltender. Has a little problem with it. Watt checks him up. Albright kicked it loose. Right out in front. Good defensive move. There's a loose puck. And play was called. No one could hear the whistle. As the official lost sight of the puck and blew the whistle, John.
Well, from Rob Tittlemeyer's angle, now you can hear the fans booing, but he was over on the far side, on the right side of the arena as we're facing north, and he just could not see that puck as it slid underneath the defenseman, number 27 for the St. Jerome's Lions, and it was partially hidden under him. Brett Watt could find the puck, but nobody else could, including Tittlemeyer, and he whistled it down. The play will now come off and be face-off to the right-hand side of the goaltender for the St. Jerome's Lions. Dean Carey, who has not seen much action in the second period, just 6 shots on goal in the second period for the Fort Francis Muskies.
From the face-off, Saunders around the net. Tries to work it out. He does get it up to center ice. Pocock is there for the Muskies. Feeds it up to Gib Tucker. He can't handle it. Tucker stops it, though, and he has it in the corner. Up to Strand right in front, side of the net. Loose puck, side of the net. Lindbergh back to the point. Back to Bill Tucker. Triple smash, but not in. Gib Tucker in the corner, circling with it. Right out in front. Strand didn't see it coming. And that puck will come back now in possession of the Lions. Saunders in over the line, right out in front. They couldn't get a stick on it. Number 10, Andre Charest, coming very close to putting that puck in the net. Now it's Pocock to center ice. Pocock skates to center ice, took a shot, and the goaltender's going to hang on to that one with 3:12 remaining in the second period. We're all tied, or we're not tied any longer. The Muskies are ahead 3-2. This is the All-Ontario Championship game on CFOB.
ET Sports, located behind Rainy Lake Sports and Tackle, is your sporting goods store for all seasons. They're your complete hockey center for skates, with skate sharpening, equipment, sticks, and tape. They also carry NHL logo t-shirts and replica Muskie hockey team jerseys in a variety of sizes. ET Sports, located in the new building behind the Rainy Lake Sports and Tackle, wishes all the teams participating in the All-Ontario's the best of luck.
64 CFOB.
at the Fort Francis Memorial Arena. 3 minutes left. There's the puck right out in front, cleared away by one of the Lions. Horton is back to get it for the Muskies. He'll give it over to Wilson. Right on the Albright's stick. McEachran cutting in. McEachran on front to Watt. Watt will have to go into the corner, back to Horton. He took a shot into traffic, and he'll get it back in the center ice area. Horton's going to cut right in now. Horton in over the blue line area, and he'll whistle that down on the offside. And batter number 13 has a couple little marks there and takes a couple little hacks at Horton after the play there, but won't get a penalty for it.
Well, 2:37 remaining in this second period. I'm hoping to have Rick Wiedenhoff as my guest in the second intermission. But Doug McBride, if ever there was a full crew of people up here willing to talk, I think we have it tonight, as we have bodies all over the place in the press box. They're all enjoying the game as we are. It's a tight one. The Fort Francis Muskies leading 3-2 over St. Jerome's with 2:37 remaining in this second period.
Puck is dropped just outside the blue line at center ice. Bill Tucker has it. He'll dump it in to the Lions zone. It'll go all the way around the boards. Oh, a big check there. And there will be a penalty coming up to Chris Spence. He'll get the gate as he bodied one of the Lion players, which looked to me like a pretty fair body check, John. Possibly a little bit high up. Nevertheless, Tittlemeyer gave him a penalty, and he's in the box.
Well, 2:27 left in the second period. We've already had 15 minor penalties, and as I said at the outset of this hockey game, Rob Tittlemeyer calls it pretty close. You're going to see 15 or 20 minor penalties every hockey game, and we've had our 15 already in this hockey game.
2:27 remaining in this second period. Muskies up by 1 goal. The St. Jerome Lions have quite a potent power play, and they're going to put it into action right now. Puck is dropped. This will chop it back into the Lion zone. Back to the blue line. Stolen by Pocock. He takes a shot. It was a hard one, but it was handled by the goaltender, Dean Carey. Carey hangs on to that for a whistle with 2:16 remaining in the second.
Well, the momentum has really swung back to the Fort Francis Muskies. The crowd now is alive and cheering the Muskies with 2:16 left in the second period. For a while, the St. Jerome's came back and tied this hockey game up with those pair of power play goals. They had taken advantage and taken the momentum away from Fort Francis, but the pendulum has swung back in Fort Francis' direction.
Well, the puck is off into the corner. The Lions shoot it back behind the net area. It's Shantz coming up with it. Passing it out in front. Shantz has it back again up to his teammate Clinton. Up to center ice. Hit over the blue line. He gets stripped of the puck, but he is able to keep it in at the point. Lions on the power play. Dumping it into the corner. Kent Pocock digging for it. Can't do anything with it. They walk out in front. Scramble side of the net. Back to the point. Muskies keep it in. Here comes Kim Tucker. Tucker skating down the ice with Strand. Shoots. Scores! Well, some dejection has definitely set into the St. Jerome Lions, John. A few of them. It looks like the steam has been let out a little bit, especially the goaltender, as the Muskies pull ahead by 2.
Well, Dean Carey not at all happy with himself there. He was beaten through the 5-hole. Wayne Strand and Gib Tucker came in. Tucker stole the puck at the blue line in a shorthand situation. He got it over to Strand. Strand just teed it up low on the ice, and he put it between the pads of Dean Carey, and suddenly the Fort Francis Muskies have come back and regained their 2-goal lead.
Here come the Lions again, in over the line. They shoot it out in front. Picked up by the Muskies. It's Wilson. He's carving back into his own zone, killing off second, and then he fires that one, and in his own bench area, and it just about hit Keno in the head with that one.
Well, Dean Wilson scooped up that puck, and everybody thought he was headed up ice. I think there was a collective 3,000-person heart attack as he headed back into his own zone. And he fired the puck out. Looked like it was headed right for the Muskie bench, and I guess that was a wake-up call to Ken Christensen over there. He's talking to Neil Cooper and saying, Coop saying, it nearly hit me in the throat. We're going to have to retune that Dean Wilson shot.
Play resumes. Wilson has it in the corner again. He'll chip this one high up. It goes through the rafters. It comes down. There's Gib Tucker out there again, putting the checks on Saunders, but Saunders is able to clear it out of his own zone. into the corner, and there's an offside as once again the Lions players smacking their sticks on the ice, not happy with themselves at all, especially giving up that goal to the Fort Francis Muskies while being on the power play. 1:08 remaining in the second period. Muskies up by a pair. It's 4-2 with the faceoff coming up just outside the Fort Francis blue line. Shot into the Fort Francis zone. Horton will clear it. Up to the blue line. There's Watt. Watt over to McEachran and over the blue line. And there's an offside on the play. And they'll make some more changes as the Muskies will send out some fresh players.
Well, goals in this period for the Fort Francis Muskies: Tim Lindbergh from Wayne Strand, Gib Tucker from Wayne Strand, and then Wayne Strand from Gib Tucker. Tucker on the night, Gibby that is, has a goal and 2 assists. Wayne Strand has picked up 2 goals and 2 assists. 56 seconds remaining in the second period. The Muskies continue to lead 4-2.
It's been a very interesting period of hockey. The Lions are going to make a couple late changes there, and still on the power play for another 21 seconds. Unable to do anything this time except give up 1 goal. They move it up to the center ice area. In over the line with it is Simon. He leaves it there. McEachran has it momentarily. Shot out in front. Bill Tucker will fire it back to center ice. 6 seconds remaining in the penalty. Picked up by McEachran. McEachran gives it up to Watt. Watt weaving his way in over the blue line. Watt took a shot. Goalie got a piece of it. It would have missed the net. Penalty is over. Muskie making changes on the fly. Long shot by Bill Tucker. Lindbergh in the corner gives to Gib Tucker. Tucker stops, goes one way, still has control of it before he's bodied off the puck. Strand in there digging for it, and play is called. With 7 seconds remaining in the second period, Muskies up by a couple. It's 4-2.
Well, you're right, Doug. I'd just like at this point in time to pass along a special thanks to some of the sponsors on our Fort Francis Muskie broadcast during the All-Ontarios and the OFSAA Championships. They include B&B Distributors, Bob Grinnell, the Fort Francis IGA Store, Butner Enterprises, M&S Foodery and Sportique, Mueller Motors, and as well, West End Motors in West Fort Francis. 7 seconds left in period 2.
Puck just ready to be dropped deep down in the Lions zone. And they're going to have to line up again as these players are a little anxious to get the play underway. They're playing 5-a-side right now. Back to the point. Shot taken over to Bill Tucker. Winds up, took a shot. Goaltender with the save. Rebound to Gib Tucker. He took a shot. That missed. That'll do it for the second period after 2. It's the Fort Francis Muskies 4. The St. Jerome Lions 2. We'll be right back with our second period intermission.
We're back live here at the Fort Francis Memorial Arena after 2 periods of play. The Fort Francis Muskies leading 4-2 in this gold medal hockey game. I've finally been able to catch up with convener Rick Wiedenhoff of this All-Ontario tournament. Rick, you've been working on this tournament for 1 year, and I guess it's the greatest culmination that we could possibly have, the Fort Francis Muskies in the championship game.
It's just been overwhelming. I just can't say enough, John, about the community support that we've had here from the businesses, from the people. It's just simply overwhelming.
Well, welcome back to the Fort Francis Memorial Arena. The Fort Francis Muskies 15 minutes away from claiming their second All-Ontario High School Hockey Championship. In the background, the McTaggart Score-O is going on. They're escorting a couple of gentlemen out to center ice. Arlene Burns of Fort Francis picked up $200 in gift certificates courtesy of McTaggart's earlier, I believe, on Thursday morning as she put the puck directly through the middle of the Score-O board, and that earned her the $200 in free merchandise. While that's going on, we're going to tell you what's happened in this hockey game so far. In the first period, Gib Tucker set up Wayne Strand at 5:47 for the Fort Francis Muskies. That was the only goal in the first period. The penalties in period 1, Dean Wilson with 1, Manny Rego with 2 for Fort Francis, Brad Shantz, Jim Barker, Andre Charest, Paul Bonner, and Todd Saunders serving penalties for St. Jerome. Shots on goal in period 1, Muskies 12, and the St. Jerome's Lions 4. In period 2, the Fort Francis Muskies picked up 3 goals. Tim Lindbergh from Wayne Strand at 4:59. Then it was Strand setting up Gibby Tucker at 10:34, and finally Strand set up by Gib Tucker at 13:16. That was a shorthanded goal. That put the Muskies up 4-2. The 2 goals courtesy of St. Jerome's Lions in that period. Todd Saunders on the power play at 6:31. Rick Higgins at 9 minutes of that second period, also on the power play. 4-2 after 2 periods of play. Penalties in the second period. Bill Tucker served 2 for the Fort Francis Muskies. Dean Wilson also served a penalty, as did Chris Spence and Craig Erb. Mike Laurie and John Saunders serving penalties for the St. Jerome's Lions. Shots on goal in period number 2. The Muskies 11 for a 2-period total of 23. And St. Jerome's 9 for a period total, 2-period total, that is, of 13. Both teams are headed back out onto the ice. St. Jerome's and the Fort Francis Muskies. The Muskies are now at their bench, and St. Jerome's congregating around their goaltender as they await the start of this third period for the St. Jerome's Lions. Well, this is it. They're down 2 goals. They have to get it going. Both teams are going to be playing at, Doug, I believe, 5 aside, 5 skaters and 2 goalies. No penalties on the slate. The slate is wiped clean. The road to gold ends here in 15 hockey minutes. The Fort Francis Memorial Arena jammed to the rafters as Rob Tittelmeyer brings the centers up. Brett Watt for the Fort Francis Muskies. Andre Charest for St. Jerome.
All right, John, we're down to the last period of hockey in this tournament. Muskies are up by a couple right now. Here come the Lions in over the line, stealing that puck. Getting it back is Bill Tucker. He'll flip it up to the center ice area. Watt digging for it. There are a couple players going down, doing some shoving. And now coming in are the Lions right in. Pass a little too far, and it's off into the corner. McEachran from behind the net. Stirs it up along the boards. Kept it at the point. There's a shot. It was high off the glass. Kept it at the point. Saunders tries to feed it out in front. It's picked up by the Muskies. Albright skating well. In over the blue line. Took a shot. Goalie got a bit of his glove on it. Rebound to Watt. Out in front. Horton took a shot. Save. Rebound. Oh, another big save. As McEachran got the rebound. Back to center ice. Pocock will drive it back in. Strand steals it. Cuts right in. Can't get a shot away. And now the Lions are coming back. It's Saunders in over the line. Working well, but Muskies back check. Saunders gets it back again. Collision at center ice, and Strand coughs up that puck. Shantz will clear it back in, and he's decked by Wilson. Horton from behind the net. Horton stops one way, then he goes the other way. Passes it up the middle, nobody's there. And it's shot back into the Fort Francis zone. Horton from behind the net. 13:34 remaining in this game. Pass up. Strand's got it. At center ice. Strand working with that puck. Over to Tucker. He took a shot. Goalie got a bit of his pad on it, enough to steer it off into the corner. Strand being squeezed in the corner. He's knocked down and lands on top of the puck, and play is called.
Well, Muskie head coach Terry Ogden now tightening up his bench a little bit. He won't be throwing over as many players. He's going with his top players, his veterans. He's pushed Marcel Horton back to defense and moved Tim Lindbergh out on the combination with Gib Tucker and Wayne Strand. I think he wants Horton's puck handling ability and ability to clear the zone back there in this final period.
Well, we're all set. Down in the Lions zone. Puck is dropped. It's picked up by Bolin. He fires it along the board. Simon picks it up. In there is Lindbergh, who's shoving against the boards. Puck squirts loose. Shantz is trying to get up. Lindbergh has him tied up. Back and forth. Now they're going to bury it along the boards. Lindbergh trying to kick it loose. Lions player goes down, and he'll cover up on that puck. That play is called. 4-2 for the Muskies. 12:59 remaining in this hockey game.
Well, a Shane Bliss combination is out there right now. Chris Spence, number 15, coming back after a long problem with a wrist injury. He's out there with Shane Bliss, who's got on a sick bed here to play in this hockey game tonight. Craig Erb as well out there for the Muskies.
From the face-off, Shantz gets it out. Here come the Lions down the line. Bolin, he's checked up by Tucker. Fed over to Erb. Erb moving with it. Passes it up to center ice. Nobody there. It trickles in on the goaltender. Bliss racing in there. And Dean Carey's going to hang on to that one.
Well, we're going to stay with this broadcast until everything wraps up. We'll have the medal presentations, both gold and silver. We'll, of course, have the 3-star selection, and we'll tell you who was won, the tournament MVP award, all that coming up immediately after this hockey game.
12:39 remain in this hockey game. Muskies up by a couple. Watt facing off. against number 10, Henry Charest. From the faceoff, it's chipped back to the center ice area. Horton will slam it back in to the Lion zone. Carey stops it. They try to clear it out, but the Muskies keep it in. McEachran in the corner. Fired all the way along the boards. Watt is there. He has it momentarily, and it's cleared out to the center ice area. Wilson can't keep it. And it's Horton falls down in the corner, gets back on his feet, and gets that puck back. They cleared up to center ice. There's Watt racing down the ice. Watt took a shot, saved, rebound. He can't get it. Now he gets it back again. Passes it back to the point, and nobody's there. Horton is at center ice, and he'll bat it back down in to the corner area. One of his teammates was trapped in the corner, and that'll make it an offside. We'll take a break in the action from the Fort Francis Memorial Arena. This is the gold medal game from the Fort Francis Memorial Arena on CFOB.
The next time you want a bouquet of flowers for any occasion, think of Safeway. Because not only does Safeway stock a super selection of fresh-cut flowers, we have professional on-staff designers to create custom arrangements for birthdays, anniversaries, even weddings. So if you're planning a big I-do, remember, Safeway does too. Beautifully, every time.
We bring it all together at Safeway.
Back to the action. Moving it out of their own zone. Under the Lions, a long shot. Ripped wide by number 5, Shad, shooting that one from center ice. Puck is out in front. There's a shot taken. Medicine's going to glove that. And he pulls the rebound in, goes down, and smothers the puck. 4-2 in favor of the Fort Francis Muskies. 11-19 remaining in this game.
Well, the Fort Francis Muskies have taken 27 shots so far in this hockey game. They've scored 4 goals for the St. Jerome's Lions, fired 14 shots so far, and they have 2 goals.
Well, the Lions making a couple late changes on defense. Both teams playing 5 aside. Muskies having a little talk in the corner there before things are ready to go here. Bliss will set her off against Higgins. Puck comes loose. Herb squeaks his way through the defenseman up to center ice. And then he gets checked up. Puck is in over the blue line area. Horton at the side of the net. He'll backhand it into the corner area to Herb. Herb pass up to Bliss. It's on his stick, but it gets away, and it's batted back down into the Fort Francis zone. Spence picks it up. He gives it to Bliss. Bliss can't do anything with it. Herb will dump it in. Hit Bliss in the back. Play a little sloppy at this time right now. Wilson does some shoving. It's stolen right in his Albright. He can't do anything with it. Open net. Spence took a shot, and then it's dumped back down into the Fort Francis zone. Going back to get it is Brett Watt. Watt up to Lindbergh. He tried to headman it up to Albright. Albright couldn't handle it. Now it's Horton, weaving his way to center ice. Horton hit over the line, took a shot, ripped one just wide, a low drive. Cutting in, keeping it, McEachran. He took a shot into the fence and took another one. Good save by Carey. It's cleared away and out to the blue line area, but kept in by Bill Tucker. Bouncing puck. No one can control it. Then it's cleared back to the center ice area. Jay Albright is back there to get it. Clears it over to the other wing, and McEachran will just pump it in and stop behind the net by Dean Carey, the goaltender for the Lions. Pocock with a weak drive. Stroud will pick it up. Gives it up to Tucker. One times it just wide. Over to the point. Pocock will squeeze in. He can't keep it in. Lindbergh from center ice. He'll just shoot it in. Dumped down the ice. Picked up by number 16, Kugler. Hit over the line. And there'll be an offside call. 9:33 remaining in this game. 4-2 for the Muskies. And our faceoff will be coming up just outside the Fort Francis blue line.
Well, this game kind of reminds me a little bit about the Pocock game, Tug. We reached that point in the third period, 9:33 left. Plenty of time for St. Jerome's Lions to come back. The Muskies with a 4-2 lead, not particularly comfortable. The next goal is so important. It's a cliche, but whoever gets the next one is going to change the complexion of the game. A goal for the Muskies puts them up 5-2. That's a nice lead. 4-3 lead, though, is not very comfortable at all. So the next goal, a big one.
Here comes number 10. He took a shot. Rebound side of the net. Medicine got it. That's right. Charest came in. A very dangerous hockey player. He let one Medicine got a piece of it. Rebound trickled to the side of him, laid there about a foot from the goal line, and the Muskies were able to clear it away, and Medicine was able to make the save.
Andre Charest really hasn't been heard from offensively much in this hockey game so far. He moved in on the right side, let a big slap shot go. Chris Medicine was able to make the initial save. The puck rolled dangerously close to the goal line, where Medicine and Bill Tucker got to it to prevent a goal.
Quick shot from the point. Medicine make the save on that one. Another shot, he scores! Number 21, Jim Parker, gets the third goal of the hockey game. Medicine was partially screened. It was a beautiful shot. He put it up high over Medicine's shoulder. And before he knew it, it was in the net. It's a 4-3 hockey game.
Well, you know, Chris Medicine plays best when he plays that textbook style. That means standing up, covering the angles, doing all that type of thing. And really, Chris Medicine in this hockey game, Doug, has gotten away from that a little bit. He's been going down. That time he went down early, and Barker was able to blast a quick shot up over his shoulder on his glove hand side. And St. Jerome's Lions have got themselves right back in this hockey game. A full 9 minutes left. It's now 4-3 Fort Francis Muskies.
Along the boards, Muskies trying to get it out. Watt able to get it to the blue line, but not out of the zone. It's golfed in. Horton is back in the corner. He'll backhand it around the net. Wilson will pick it up along the boards. And the Muskies still trying to get it out of their own zone. They do so. Back to the center ice area. Rushing for number 7, Saunders along the boards. Medicine will stop it behind the net. Leaves it there. Wilson tries to get it up to his teammate. Can't do so. Now Wilson with a drive in over the blue line. Wilson winds up. Took a shot, save made by the goaltender. It's cleared around the boards. Wilson heading for the bench area. And the Lions trying to get organized here. They bring that puck up and fire it into the Fort Francis zone. Fenton will get there first. He collides with Bill Tucker. Right out in front, loose puck. Picked up by Watt. Watt up to get Tucker. Tucker can't handle it. Skating well.
You got it.
He'll get it in his equipment. Kicks it ahead. Lindbergh in there to help him out. But it's kept in at the point. Strand turns around and took a shot. Puck is back in the Fort Francis zone. Pocock back to get it. Passed over to Tucker. He's not there. There's a shot taken. It's whistled high up over the net. Bill Tucker looking for it. Cutting right in. There's a shot taken at point-blank range. And Jim Tucker tries to get it. There's Wayne Strand for the Muskies. He kicks it ahead. Looking for somewhere to put it. He's got open net. A shot. A good save by the goaltender. Puck is out in front. Now it's kicked to the side. Off to the corner. Wilson winds up. Took a shot. Saved by the goaltender. Wilson has it again. Pounds it behind the net. Strand gets tied up along the boards with shots, and play is called as action picking up in the third period in this 4-3 hockey game.
Well, 7-11 left in this hockey game. The Fort Francis Muskies lead has been reduced to 4-3 as Jim Barker at 5:53 of this third period picks up the goal to narrow the gap. And for the Fort Francis Muskies, they were running around in their own zone a little bit, Doug, having a tough time clearing the puck, and they're going to have to tighten things up defensively and continue to press for a goal that would restore that 2-goal lead.
Well, we're all set for that face-off. Now the players will have to line up again, making sure everybody's onside. Into the corner area, cleared along the boards by Kugler. Wilson falls down at the blue line area to keep it in and ends up on top of the puck. They'll have a face-off just outside of the Lions' blue line.
The main area of concern, I think, now for the Fort Francis Muskies is not to have the defensemen press to get a goal, to do that much offensively. Certainly they can carry the puck, but they should headman the puck. They shouldn't get caught off ice as they've been doing a lot this hockey game. The Muskies have the lead. It's not like they have to score to win this hockey game. They do retain the lead.
Bliss doing some good checking in there. Just about got that puck out in front of the net. More players tying things up in the corner. 2 are down and 2 more come crashing in. And players whistle dead once again with 6:47 remaining in this game.
Well, Doug, with 6:47 left, both of these teams, I don't doubt, have most of the players anyway, have never been in a bigger hockey game for their particular school, at least in the past while. And this one here, it's their 6th game in the last 72 hours, and they're both gunning for gold.
Pocock back to Bill Tucker. He'll have to step out over the blue line. He dumps it in. Muskies clear the zone. Play continues. Saunders with it out in front of his goalie. He'll bring it out to the center ice area. skips it ahead. Albright will pick it up. Albright will get it up to McEachran. McEachran can't handle it. It's back to the center ice area. Kugler dumps it into the Fort Francis zone. Medicine is way out. He'll dump it into the corner. McEachran trying to get it. Doing some pushing in there. They're going to tie things up. Puck squirts loose along the boards. Back to the point. Saunders will fire it into the corner. Gets it out in front. McEachran will backhand it out to Watt. Watt to the blue line. Up the center ice. He's overskated and gets knocked off that puck. Watt to center ice. Watt skating with it. In over the blue line. Watt still with it. He gets knocked down. It's picked up there by Higgins. And shot down the ice. And play is called. We'll take a break in the action with the score 4-3 in favor of the Muskies. This is the championship game on CFOB. We are back live at the Fort Francis Memorial Arena with 5 minutes and 38 seconds remaining in this hockey game. It's a one-goal game in favor of the Fort Francis Muskies at this point. With a face-off coming up just outside of the Lions blue line area. Strand facing off against Higgins. Back to Rego. He'll let one rip. Goaltender has a little problem with it as it came off the backboards right out beside him. And they go down on top of the puck and play is called. John, this could be a very long 5 minutes and 25 seconds.
Well, there are 2,500, maybe more people here that are desperate for that clock to either tick off very quickly or the Muskies pop another goal. One of the two. A lot of nervous people, a lot of stomachs churning in here, and you can bet that some of those stomachs are churning over there in the Fort Francis Muskie bench as well.
Well, the Muskies still have their power line out there with Gib Tucker, Wayne Strand, and Marcel Horton up front. Wilson. Back to Wilson. He took a shot into traffic, and there's no way that puck was going to get through there. Wilson makes a dive, but now cutting it through at one stage. Jerome, a shot taken. Good save by Medicine. And going crashing in on the play into the net was one of the Lions players, number 11, Jeff Lane. He's up, but he collided quite heavily with the net.
Well, Chris Medicine is very fortunate that the shot came off on the left-hand side, Doug, and he was able to steer it in the corner because Lane was coming in there like a ton of bricks real hard as he took the net off. And for Jeff Lane, he's up and at him. He's going back to the bench. He's not hurt, but Lane was crashing the net. He was hoping that he could get a quick rebound and force it in. And with 5:12 left, the face-off is deep in the Muskie zone off to the left of Chris Medicine.
Well, the players are lined up, starting to look a little bit on the tired side out there, and so should they be. After all the hockey they played in the last 72 hours, as John mentioned. Bill Tucker picks up that puck, shoves it up ahead to Albright. Albright scoops it up along the boards, and that one's whistled down with 5:04 remaining in this game.
Well, Jay Albright made a nice attempt to get by the defenseman. What he did was shoot the puck up along the boards and went out on the outside of the defenseman, hoping that he could get by him and pick up the puck on the other side. But it hit either a stick or a glove of one of the St. Jerome's players at their bench. They're all hanging over anxious in this game, and it took away a pretty good opportunity for Jay Albright.
There comes Albright. He kicks it ahead. He can't do anything with it. It's picked up by Saunders. Saunders to the blue line. He runs into Watt. It's picked up then by Higgins. He'll circle in his own zone, but Pocock comes up with it. Pocock dumps it ahead. Goaltender will stop it. Player waiting in there for his teammate. It's picked in by Bill Tucker. He fires in. It's over into the other corner. Nobody there, and it's picked up by Todd Saunders once again. Cleared up to center ice. Number 15, Ashmore, in over the line. He can't do anything with it. He'll dump it ahead. Albright passes it up, but there's nobody there, and Saunders will take it at his own blue line. Saunders to Clinton along the boards to Ashmore. He gets knocked off the puck. It squirts loose, and here comes Wade Strand. Strand, Horton behind him. He'll dump it up ahead, and there's an offside on the play with 4:11 remaining in the game.
Well, both these hockey clubs are playing their sixth game. The Fort Francis Muskies defeated Oakville, South Carlton, Bayview, North Bay, and Pocock to get here. Kitchener over West Ferris, Assumption, Mowat, South Carlton, and Monarch Park. 5 consecutive victories for each team. 4:11 left. The Muskies clinging to a 4-3 lead.
Faceoff will be coming up just outside the blue line towards the Lions end. The Muskies are now going to make some changes, sending out Shane Bliss, along with Chris Spence and Herb. Wilson on the point. Also Manny Rigo out there for the Muskies. Dumped into the corner. Schatz. He gives it up to number 10, Charest. Charest gets around one man, but coming back is Herb. Gets it to the side of the net. Medicine is going to glove that one as it slides along the ice and hang on for a whistle with less than 4 minutes remaining in the game.
You know, Doug, I like Kitchener's strategy. They're sending one man to the net every opportunity they get. He's flying in there full steam, and they're hoping to get a rebound, maybe have him slide into the goalie, have him take Medicine into the net. They're looking to score a goal any way they can, and they're sending at least one forward real hard towards the net. That may pay off if the Fort Francis Muskies allow them to get a number of shots on net as they have over the past 5 or 6 minutes.
Well, a slight delay as one of the players has to talk things over a little bit. Faceoff will be coming up deep down in the Fort Francis zone. 3:57 remaining. Muskies up by 1 goal. A very tight hockey game. It's 4-3. Faceoff in the Muskie zone. Strand facing off against Higgins. Waiting for that puck to be dropped. Squirts loose. Picked up by the Muskies. Here comes the Muskies. It's Wilson. He'll fire it in. Goes along the boards. Clinton picks it up. In the corner, they tie it up. Tucker's in there, and that puck is also frozen in the corner by a bunch of players, and play is called.
Well, Doug, you can tell when we're in a championship situation here. Barney Mayer has left the bench, and, you know, Barney disappears when in the heat of the moment, Barney disappears faster than a snowball in July, and he's long gone. He's hiding out. That means the Fort Francis Muskies are only 3:42 away from their second All-Ontario goal.
Well, we're waiting for that puck to be dropped. Down in the Lions zone, back to Pocock. Over to Bill Tucker, took a shot, and goal! Well, John, there's 5 Muskies out there, but they look like one. They're all piled on top of each other as Bill Tucker let a blast go from about 10 feet in off the blue line and put it past Terry.
Well, you better believe every one of those Muskie hockey players knows what Bill Tucker had for supper. They were all over him. I think they all gave him a big hug and a peck on the cheek as Tucker, off a nice feed from Ken Pocock, has put the Muskies up by 2 with 3:38 left in this hockey game. The fans are into it now. They're singing, and Myron is getting them stirred up on the organ. And with 3:38 left, Doug, and a 2-goal lead, the Fort Francis Muskies, I'm sure, are going to try to check their opponents, Kitchener St. Jerome's, into the ice and preserve that win.
Well, as play continues, Jerome have it in the Fort Francis zone. They try to get it out in front. Get Tucker along the boards. Tucker gets nudged out of the play. Bill Tucker tries to get it. He can't do so. Big collision in the corner. Puck squirts loose. And Kip Tucker will fire it just outside the blue line area. Over to Gazzola. 3:10 remaining. They dump it into the Fort Francis zone, making some changes on the fly. Bill Tucker in the corner. Up to Gibb. Back to Bill. Bill to the blue line. Up to center ice. Leaves it for Horton. Back to Bill Tucker again. And over the blue line. He's knocked down. And the puck is picked up by Higgins. He fires it up to center ice. Wilson is there. He stops and lets the boards, and Herb will fire it back into the Lions zone with 2:42 remaining. Lions stop behind their net. It's Schatz. Schatz passes it up. He gets knocked off the puck by Herb. It's center ice. Some rough stuff happening behind the play as Wilson's right in the middle of it. Herb skating back into his own zone. Gives it to Rego, to Wilson. Wilson to Bliss. Bliss in over the blue line. He'll dump it into the corner before he gets pulled down. Crowd wants a penalty. And now things are tied up. And play is called with 2:11 left. Faceoff will be coming up.
Doug, I don't think number 5, Brad Schatz, realizes he's going to get the gate. He's standing out front of the net, realizing that with 2:11 left and a minor penalty being assessed to him, that this thing is all but over as Brad Schatz took Shane Bliss in along the boards. A rather unusual call at this stage of the game. That's a call that you might see in the first or second period. A hockey purist would say if it's good in the first, it's good in the third. In this circumstance, it's pretty darn tough to go with a borderline call with 2:11 left on a team that's down by 2 goals. But nonetheless, Brad Schatz is coming over, and I think with his entry in the penalty box, So go the chances of St. Jerome's of a comeback. 2:11 left in this hockey game, and they're down by 2.
Well, they're singing that song. 2:11 remaining in this hockey game. Fans can feel it. Puck is shot back down into the Fort Francis zone. Ray goes back to get it. Big hit as Ray goes dumped behind the net. Muskie's moving out to center ice. McEachran can't do anything with it. Shots in the penalty box. Allen dumps it back down. Muskie's moving it out. McEachran back to Rago. 1:45 remaining. Wilson up to the blue line. He gives it to McEachran. McEachran in over the blue line. Drops it for Albright. Albright still has it. Cuts out front. Winds up. Took a shot into traffic. Watt circles. He's going to take a shot. No, he goes into the corner. Still has control, but Muskie's on the power play. Pocock into the corner. Watt with it now. Back to Pocock at the point. Winds up. Drills one just wide. Chopped out in front, and now one's going up into the stands with 1:17 remaining.
Well, these fans are 1:17 away from whipping it up. The Fort Francis Muskies now look as if they are assured of a gold medal performance, and that has to be the case as Barney Mayers reappeared on the Muskie bench. That has to be a signal sent down from the gods, Doug.
Right, sure, John. Barney looks somewhat relaxed there. Hard to believe, but he looks pretty relaxed there beside Terry Ogden. Even a little smile on his face. 1:17 remaining in this hockey game. And John, I'm not exactly sure what is going to happen in 1 minute and 17 seconds. We'll have to wait and see. There's a shot from the point by Tucker. Back to Pocock. Give Tucker in there. He'll back it back. And the Lions clear it down the ice. Medicine coming way out. Clear it up over the glass. A play is called with less than 1 minute remaining in this hockey game.
Doug, now that presented a very interesting situation. Chris Medicine came out to clear a puck, and he cleared it over the glass. And even though it hit the glass on the way over, I'm surprised, and maybe we'd have to check on a ruling on that, but I think that Rob Tittlemeyer could very well have given Chris Medicine a penalty for that, and even this hockey game up. If that had happened, St. Jerome's could pull their goaltender with 57 seconds left in the Muskie zone with the face-off in that Muskie zone, and they might have an opportunity to score a goal and bring them to within one because they'd have a man advantage. But Medicine doesn't get a penalty, and everything is academic. 57 seconds left in this gold medal hockey game, and I guess you and I can hearken back to the way we felt in Oakville just 3 years ago. 1986 was the year the Fort Francis Muskies were seated high, but nobody really expected them to go all the way through like they did. This year, the Fort Francis Muskies under a minute away from clinching a gold medal. You know, Doug, you look at the success of the hockey program under Terry Ogden, certainly in the 80s, and the Fort Francis Muskies have really produced. Overall, the Muskies have 4 silvers, a bronze, and, of course, that gold obtained in 1986. And you can better believe that head coach Terry Ogden over there on the bench addressing his troops, he's telling them, listen, 57 seconds left. Let's play it tight. Let's clear the puck. Don't ice it. Get it out of your zone. We can win this thing. We're up by 2 goals. They have a penalty. Everything's in our favor. So just don't blow it.
Well, John, it was a big throw when we did it in Oakville, but there's nothing like doing it at home.
Well, 25,000 people here or 100, here in person to share it with us. It's a great feeling.
57 seconds remaining. We're all set to finish off the final minute of hockey. And this place is alive. Cleared back up to center ice. Pocock along the boards. He gets bumped. It's shot to the blue line area, and it's smothered there as a couple players are down. Pocock and number 17 exchange a few words. Everybody cools down, and our face-off will be coming up just outside the blue line of the Lion zone. They have no goalie in there. They pulled their goalie to play 5-a-side. Here comes Charest. In over the line at number 17, Dave Clinton offside on the play. And the St. Jerome Lions did not like that call one little bit.
Well, Andre Charest spotted Dave Clinton breaking between the Muskie defensemen, and he wasn't happy at all that they whistled that back. Ken Pocock and Bill Tucker were unable to catch up with him. Clinton was in on a breakaway, but the linesman whistled it down. on the offside. 39 seconds and counting in this final game in the All-Ontario 1989 tournament in Fort Frances. The response has been terrific. The local business people have supported the hockey clubs. The fans have certainly turned out in all three arenas, Emo, the Falls, and here. And you can hear the cheerleaders and the fans in the background. They're cranking it up for a celebration that hasn't rocked the arena like you're going to hear in 35 running seconds for some time.
Well, there's the puck. It's kicked ahead. Albright's knocked flying into the corner area. Strand out there. We're down to 27 seconds. And once again, they hold it against the boards, and play is called. And John, and when that 27 seconds finally does run down and this crowd erupts, we may see a whole lot of people down on the ice surface, John.
Well, I know Mike Freeman is down there announcing to stay off the ice surface, but it's going to be pretty difficult to keep a whole horde of folks off that ice surface. I'm sure they will stay off temporarily, at least until the Muskies can have their medals presented.
Puck is cleared to center ice. Pocock along the boards. Play very scrambly at this point. We're down to 10 seconds. 9 seconds. Open net. Oh, Horton off the post. Tucker can't get at it. 5 seconds. 4 seconds. 3 seconds. That's it. The Muskies have won gold. Well, John, the coaches over there hugging themselves. The Muskies are all piled up on top of each other, sticks and gloves everywhere. What a moment.
Well, Doug, you can't see any better than you're hearing right behind us. There's no sense us even talking for a couple of seconds here. Let's listen to the way the fans are supporting and saluting the Fort Frances Muskies. This arena is bedlam. The Fort Frances Muskies have struck for gold once again. The 1989 version of the Fort Frances Muskies has defeated the St. Jerome Lions of Kitchener by a 5-3 score. The teams are shaking hands. We're going to pause for 60 seconds, and when we return, we'll have the official medal presentation. Well, the roar of the crowd says it all. The Fort Frances Muskies have done what they set out to do. 6 consecutive victories as Dean Wilson comes over to give Barney Mayer a great, great big hug, and they're all coming over to hug Barney and to hug head coach Terry Ogden. The Muskies come through and win this thing 5-3 against St. Jerome's, a hockey club that played a double overtime game last night. They played a single overtime game here this morning, and you can see some tears rolling down the cheeks, but they have no reason to be ashamed. The silver medal will look great around their neck. And but for a couple of goals, St. Jerome's could have won the gold medal. Chris Medicine being announced as the most sportsmanlike player in this hockey game, picking up a plaque from Rick Wiedenhoff. That presentation by Rick, courtesy of the United Paper Workers Union of Fort Frances. Wiedenhoff, Medicine, the photographers are out in force. This is truly a big, big moment in sports history for the Fort Frances Muskies. The second time they have struck for gold, and there's only one man on this hockey team currently playing that remembers what happened in '86, and that man is number Shane Bliss, the assistant captain. Bliss just 14 years old back in 1986. Danny Johnson is set to make a big announcement. The most valuable player of this hockey tournament is about to be announced. Full of a watch, and Johnson's will make this presentation to the MVP of our tournament, 1989. Danny Johnson. Wayne Strand is the tournament MVP. And I don't think that Wayne Strand will ever in his life forget what he's accomplished here this afternoon, or pardon me, this evening, as he has led the Fort Frances Muskies to victory in the 1989 All-Ontario's. Wayne Strand, a tremendous hockey game, 2 goals and 2 assists, He was strong throughout the tournament, scoring and assisting in every game, and he was really a leader offensively. Must have been a difficult choice for the for the people who were making the decision as to the MVP. There were so many good players in this tournament from all the teams, and certainly Gibby Tucker, Bill Tucker, and Dean Wilson stood out along with Wayne Strand for the Fort Frances Muskies. Peter Baxter, who is a representative of OFSAA from down east, is out on the ice now along with Rick Wiedenhoff, the tournament convener and athletic director of Fort Frances High School, and they are going to be making the presentations to the St. Jerome's Lions. Yeah, number 29 for the St. Jerome's Lions coming over. That's Dean Carey, and he was a tremendous asset to them here this evening, playing a great game of goal for them. And the St. Jerome's is to be saluted. They came in as the fifth-seeded hockey team, and they've gone all the way to the finals, picking up a silver medal. How did St. Jerome's do it? Well, they opened things up on Thursday by defeating West Ferris in a very close game. West Ferris was the team that the Fort Frances Muskies dispatched in their quarterfinal match last night by a score of 6-0. St. Jerome's had a bit tougher time with West Ferris, defeating them 5-4 in their opening pool game. They followed that with a victory over Assumption by a 6-3 score. Then it was Sir Oliver Mowat falling victim to the Kitchener Hockey Club. St. Jerome's defeating Mowat 5-3. Then it was the double overtime game that seemed to go on forever as South Carleton hung in there and hung in there and hung in there until in the second overtime period, St. Jerome's defeated them 2-1. That was the quarterfinal game. Last night in the semifinals, another overtime situation as second-seeded Monarch Park collided with fifth-seeded St. Jerome's. The result, St. Jerome's coming back to win that game, a late goal to tie it, an overtime goal to win it as they took it by a 6-5 score. For the Fort Frances Muskies, well, they had a tremendous tournament, and they opened things up with a 7-1 win over Oakville. That was followed by a 6-1 victory over South Carleton. The Muskies continued their hot streak in Emo Friday morning as they defeated Bayview 4-2. The Muskies continued after that last night, battling a West Ferris club, a very tough, big, strong skating club from North Bay, defeating them 6-0 before wrapping up a berth in the finals with a 6-2 win over the Sir Philip Pocock Pirates here earlier this morning. Fort Frances and Kitchener put on a tremendous display of hockey here at the Fort Frances Memorial Arena. They have every reason to be proud. And the fans here at the Fort Frances Arena giving Kitchener a big round of applause as they receive their silver medals. A big contingent of players. You can start, Doug McBride, to see the smiles on their faces now. There were initially sour looks and tears, but hey, when you have that silver medal around your neck, you feel pretty good. Well, you know what's coming up next? Tournament MVP Wayne Strand and the rest of the Fort Frances Muskies will officially be presented, I believe, with their gold medals. I don't think, Doug, that a person in this building has moved anywhere because they're waiting for these presentations. Goaltender Chris Medicine comes over, picks up his gold medal. Chris Medicine played last year in Thunder Bay. He came back this year to pick up his gold medal and the starting goaltender of the Fort Frances Muskies. Captain Bill Tucker comes over and gets his gold. Tucker played his final game here this evening for the Fort Frances Memorial Muskies, And Captain Bill Tucker picks up a gold medal along with his partner Ken Pocock, a three-year man for the Muskies. Brett Watts skates over, number 20. Brett will be back next year. He's a three-year man. He gets his gold medal. A pair of line mates, Jay Albright and Jeff McEachern, come over to get their gold from Peter Baxter. And those two gentlemen will be graduating. Mark Wilkins comes over and picks up his medal. Mark, a rookie on this hockey club, and he will definitely be back next year, I believe. Not Dean Wilson, though. Dean Wilson in his grand finale, he gives Rick Wiedenhoff a big hug. He's happy. Number 5, Wilson, had to be considered for the MVP award as well. He had an outstanding tournament. Marcel Horton over to get his award. Number 6, Horton, the assistant captain, picks up a gold medal, as does Shane Bliss, the only remaining member of that 1986 team. Unbelievably, Shane Bliss may be back with the Fort Frances Muskies next year for a 5th campaign. Bliss still only 17 years old. Wayne Strand over to get his gold. It looks great hanging from his neck, and he's going to have plenty of hardware to remember this All-Ontario Tournament of 1989. Manny Rego picks his gold medal up, and I bet you that'll be on display at the Huddle Restaurant pretty darn quick on Monday morning, and a lot of people will be in to have a peek at it. Chris Spence, a nice story there as Chris Spence comes back and picks up a gold medal despite all the trials and tribulations of this year. What a tremendous effort to get back, get the wrist healed, get in shape, and he's made a nice contribution in this tournament. Gibby Tucker, a big round of applause. Gibby Tucker left last year to play in Thunder Bay, but boy, when he came back this year, he solidified the offense for the Fort Frances Muskies. Neil Cooper coming over, didn't see any action in this tournament, but you can bet your boots he'll see plenty of action in future years. Terry Ogden, a big round of applause. He single-handedly put together a number of great hockey clubs, but with the assistance of Ken Christensen and Glenn Edwards, I doubt very much you could find a better coaching contingent in anywhere in Ontario. So much experience, so much enthusiasm. 3 very classy gentlemen as they all come over to shake hands and accept their gold medals. The Fort Frances Muskie mentor, Barney Mayer, he was around 20 years plus ago when this hockey program was just getting underway. Barney has made more bus trips, I think, than the Greyhound president himself. He's been at all the All-Ontarios, or so he tells me, over the last 14 years. And Barney Mayer has been a tremendous asset to the Muskies. You can tell when the Muskies are clinching gold because Barney Mayer pops up on the bench. Barney shaking Craig Erb's hand. He's over and shaking all the hands of the Fort Frances Muskie players. And there you have it, the proclamation that the Muskies are the 1989 All-Ontario High School Hockey Champions. And they have to be pleased. Barney's over there whooping it up with all of them. Craig Erb, Tin Lindbergh, Manny Rego. They're all standing around almost in disbelief. Bill Tucker, Shane Bliss, Marcel Horton, the captain, and the 2 assistants have come over to take the parade around the rink. And those 3 gentlemen are as much responsible as any others for the success of the Fort Frances Muskies. They have the big Fort Frances Muskie. They have the All-Ontario T. Eden Trophy. And the whole team is going round the rink. And listen to the response of these fans. It's a standing room only crowd here this evening at the Fort Frances Memorial Arena. And they're delirious with joy as the Fort Frances Muskies have come through. People said they could do it. They said they could do it. They've done it. They've struck gold once again. The Muskies have come through and won the gold medals in the 1989 version of the All-Ontario High School Hockey Championships held here in Fort Frances. St. Jerome's exiting now. They have to exit, maybe with their heads down, wishing they could have come up with a victory, but knowing full well that they tried as hard as they could, and the second place silver medals, although not seeming significant maybe to them now, are going to look better and better to them as the years go by. Doug McBride, we're fortunate that we were able to cover the Fort Frances Muskies in the playoff. I know I had a great time doing it. I'm sure you did too. It's been a tremendous short season for us in March and April here. And what a way to culminate a hockey tournament than to see the Fort Frances Muskies skating around the ice with the All-Ontario trophy. And it just doesn't get any better than that.
Hey, John, it's quite a climax to a super season. They went undefeated all season long. And it's really something special to be a part of this, and especially to win the goal at home. You can't beat it.
Well, in 1982 against St. Andrews, the Fort Frances Muskies were desperate for goal. At that point in time, they just weren't able to come through. But the Fort Frances Muskies have delivered. They have provided people here with thrills galore, and they have picked up the All-Ontario gold. As they chat out at center ice, I think they're looking to all have a little picture session. They're putting the Muskie at center ice. Wayne Strand is crawling on his knees. He says, come on, boys, let's get in a big picture here. We want something for the front page spread of the Fort Frances Times. You know where it's going to be. It's going to make the front page because this is front page news. in the paper, on the radio, wherever. This is big news. And the fans begin to pile over the glass. Rick Wiedenhoff trying to keep them off, but they're just too excited. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people who want to get out and recognize the Fort Frances Muskies. That's his 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 Muskies.